Let's do a sound check. Who with me? Let me know if you're here. I know I'm on a small delay. Linda Evans says long intro. Let's go. Linda, I was trying to get dressed and get ready and try to, you know, I'm sorry that I'm not punctual. I apologize. This is my expensive, very expensive part-time job. Let's look at the comments. Let's get the comments up. Who here with me today? Let's go. Couple comments I seen in the screen I'll address. Scott Bain, what's good? Happy belated birthday once again. I know it's been a couple days, but like I believe Scott Bain is black. So Scott, just like the tradition of black folks, the entire month of June is your birthday, brother. We for some odd reason we don't celebrate one day, June the 7th or whatever, and whatever. What's up, Denise? Lannis Timmons, what's good, good brother? The good people coming in today, y'all. Not to say anything bad about the old ones. Not to say anything bad, but the good people stepping up. I guess they starting to catch on to the shit that I've been saying, because there's other people starting to say things now. They're saying it in real time after the fact. When I've been telling you shit been going on for years, and it's because of your leaders. And yeah, Justin, I just made it back from I decided not to go. I reconsidered. I pulled my lighter out to light that flag, and I said to myself, what am I thinking? Hold on, let me get my camera right. My apologies, man. I'm trying to get some lighting and stuff right here. Look, I almost didn't make it today. Some of you would have been able to do what choose your other options or whatever you got going on in life, or say, not today, Wyatt. I can't stand you today. I can't hack it today, Wyatt. Which would have been okay with me. You don't have to come see me every day, all day. I only need 5 solid people. We started with 4. Now we got a few more. I only need a few people. I don't have to have some wide blown out ass audience. Some do this for so-called profit. Some do it just to inform people and to let them know what's going on. So am I okay? Is my microphone doing all right? Are we good? See, I'm not going to sell my people just so I can profit myself. That's not what I do. I'm not that guy that's going to sit here, tell people what they want to hear so they continuously agree on some bullshit. That's just not me. It's just not me. I'm sorry. Some people do it. Some people do it for a check. You want to call that shots fired or whatever? Okay, I'm at the firing range. Say what you want to say, but the truth is the truth. You know, one of the reasons why you see what you see is because of what you allow to happen. Not what's happening to you and you don't have any time. It's not like the things that happen to you happen because you're not strong enough to change it, or it's not happening to you because you don't have the means to make it change. The things that happen to you is you rely on the wrong people. You think the people that are leaders are really just coming up. This a come up. It's a come up for them. And then it's a chain reaction, and you got people in place that play all these different little roles to keep it the way it is. And then it's just like back in the days before we had big homes and fancy cars and all this old other shit. Judah and all of them used to do shit for jewelry and trinkets and all this old shit and be able to eat better goat and better steak, all this old shit. They always pure milk. All that old shit, man, was always over the people. Most people that you know in your life, I don't care if you call me preaching or whatever, don't come here if you don't want to hear it. Most people you know are selfish. Most people you know, and you know they are. That don't make you selfish. But sometimes we know who we know. Friends are selfish as hell and they'll use me up, but they still my buddies. So we can only go so far. You know what I'm saying? Everybody on this right now, and it's not that many of us, everybody here know somebody that they kick it with, but you can only go so far with them because they will use your ass up. They will play you. They love you. You love them. But they will use you up. They will use you up. So don't feel bad. We all got it. We all got it. We all have somebody that will use us up. Okay, that don't mean we don't love them, and it don't mean they don't love you. It's just people will push you to a limit, and you just have to know how to navigate with people like that, right? So let's just navigate. Let's navigate. Let's do what we do. All right. So couple things are going on right now that I'm noticing in Cincinnati. All right. And it's a great thing. It's a very, very good thing. I'm noticing that a lot of people are now starting to come out and say some things that have been said on the least watched program in your area. There's a reason for that too. It's not just the look, I fell out of love. I'm not married to it's the messenger shit. No, it's not the messenger, it's the message. A lot of people don't want to hear right from wrong. They want to hear what makes them feel good. They want to be able to justify their feelings by someone reiterating what's being said and what's being said. And they want to just be in a comfortable space. Let me clear the air about something about myself, if you don't mind, okay? About why I have my opinions. Let's be very, very clear. I am a Black man in America who understands the struggles that Black folks have been in the United States since existence. Let me grab this. Let me grab my light. Sorry, it's starting to swivel on me. My apologies. My apologies. My perspectives and my point of views are never coming from a place of the struggle never existed, racism never existed, or it doesn't exist. My point of view always comes from, like Maya Angelou said, I sent it in the Wyatt Live Messenger group. I know what the struggles are. I know what we've been through. I've seen what we go. We can. Doors are shut in our face all the time, but I am not going to allow a door that's shut in my face to stop me from doing what I'm doing. Somebody tell me now in the comments when you ever heard me say we can't do something, or ever heard me say somebody's better than us. Never. Never. I might come off as a rough auntie, a rough uncle, somebody in your family that would tell you something in a rough kind of way, but it was the truth and it wasn't the way you wanted to hear. Anybody in your family ever broke down one of your friends that you ain't had no business hanging with? You know what I'm saying? You any of your ladies, has your mom or anybody in your family ever told you that dude ain't no good? You shouldn't be with him. And you thought that person was hating on you, hating on that person and hating on you and didn't want y'all to be together. And we were so young, or we were so whatever in our feelings, and we were thinking, oh yeah, okay, he won't do that to me. Or you just saying that shit because your old ass can't get nobody. Or whatever our reason was to doubt that individual. See what I'm saying? To doubt that individual. Willful means to doubt whatever we see in broad daylight. That's just a mind thing. You feel me? It's just a thing. It is a controlled. Dina said, yes, my mother. Now, Dina, let me be honest. I don't know you like that. You know I don't know you, but I'm going to use you since you said something. I'm going to use this as an example. Was mom right or was she wrong? Did you? Because I remember when my mom used to tell me not to do certain things, and I swore up and down she didn't like me nor my friends. Like, you just don't want me to have no fun. You don't want me to be with my buddies. You don't want me to do this. You don't want me to do that. We didn't have this conversation before. And I look back on those days and those moments, and I'd be like, damn, you know what? My mama was right. The majority of the time, I could go to a whole lot of different instances and say, you know, my mother was right. You know what I'm saying? My mother was right about that shit. Those dudes going to jail. That girl had 4 kids. I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying the wisdom of a parent, the wisdom of an elder. You know, we so stupid as young folks, we think that they doing something wrong or hurting us by saving us. And it don't come out good. It just don't come out good. And then when we make that mistake, they still love us. They still love us, and they still be part of that mistake. We have children, let's just keep it 100. Okay. Y'all know I'm not a hateful man. So when I say things, I don't mean it from a hateful point of view. But a mistake child is not a child that's not loved. It's just not a planned child, right? That don't mean because you made a mistake and had a child, you wasn't in the position to have a child. That don't mean that you don't love that child, right? But it was a mistake. You had an accidental pregnancy, both you and this dude, right? But mama was there. She told you to stop messing with that dude. Mama was there. She told you to stop messing with that girl. That girl ain't no good for you. That girl got grown-up shit going on. My mama had to tell me that. That girl got grown-up shit going on, Randy. She's 17. You don't want them problems, boy. Who mama ain't never said that? Where my fellas at? Every guy on here has been told this by his mother. You don't want them problems, boy. And every mother on here has told their son, you don't want them problems, boy. I could be wrong. Maybe they don't talk that way some places. I don't know. But where I'm from, the majority of the men have heard that. Michelle Hardy said, I've never said mistake, always unplanned. Shit, okay. We can clean it up however we want to clean it up in aisle 7, Michelle, but it's some people that, I'm not saying, I know it's harsh sometimes to say it the way it really is said at the dinner table when ain't nobody listening but the family. But the truth of the matter is, there's people out here having casual sex, having kids with dudes they don't know, having casual sex with women on a jump off they don't know. And then when a pregnancy happened, we want to call it an unplanned pregnancy. No, it was a mistake. You had a mistake. It came from a mistake. An unplanned pregnancy seems to be one that's trying to be preventable, and you just didn't, you know what I'm saying? Michelle Hardy laughing at me now because I'm getting too deep. You know what I'm saying? Tracy Dillingham, what's up, sis? I'm mad at you. I just got to be mad today, sis. I'm picking on you. Actually, I'm in a pretty good mood, Tracy, so I'm just kidding. I just Tracy give me some blowback, so I just want to be mad at someone. But it's crazy because I'm watching people now, okay? I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm watching people now come on Facebook, go Facebook Live. My brother Ewing, Andre, okay? I was going to play the video, but I don't even have it. He's retiring as a police officer. I'm sure some of y'all didn't seen this video. Somebody sent it in the Wyatt Live Messenger group. Him and I are cool. We spoke on the phone a couple times. And I couldn't really, he can't really say what he wanted to say at this time. It's no secret. He said this out in the open. So I'm not telling you something that he's like behind the scenes, we're talking, about things that he's not openly saying. But what's crazy is he's about to retire as a police officer. I mean, he on countdown to the point where you could probably hold your breath and not pass out. He's that close. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's about to retire. And I'm glad the brother made it out of Cincinnati Police Department injury-free. No major injuries, not shot, didn't have to kill anybody. I'm glad he's coming out with a clear, all his faculties. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to do that job. I'm sure there's some trauma. You can't do that job and see babies and see the things that they have to walk into every day. The things that we don't even hear about, don't see on the news, don't see on social media. Being a cop it's just a crazy job. The man is blessed to be able to get through it. And he said that his wife is a cop, a police officer. I don't know. Who keeps who level, Andre? Y'all got to be some unbelievably strong people to run a household and to see the things that you guys have seen. So bless you and your family, your beautiful wife and all that, bro, because I don't know if I was a cop, my wife couldn't be a cop, because what would we do? Talk cop shit at home, talk about trauma all day at home. That's what I would think, because my wife shares into my ideas of what I do in my business. I share into ideas of what she does for a living. And we talk about those things. I help her out in her thoughts. She helped me out in my thoughts. If all our thoughts was police stuff and street stuff and things that's going on in the police department, I'm not quite sure that, I don't know how our house would be. I don't know how those conversations would go, to be honest with you. But anyway, Andre, just to give him a little bit of love and a little bit of shine, he says he's going to be starting his program as soon as he retires. And what I'm watching is I'm watching the things that he's saying, and he is challenging. Guess who and guess what? Same thing. The who and the what is the same thing. He's challenging the leadership. I'm Andre, I wish you all the luck in the world, bro. See, the momentum is always going to, I hope you ride the momentum, get the points across, but the more truth that you tell, the less support you'll get. I hope everybody supports, but you're saying it's a machine. You know what I'm saying? He knows it. I'm not telling him I'm not saying anything right now that he doesn't already know. I'm informing the crowd here, because when you start challenging certain people, they already have certain people that look like you in place to calm everybody down, or to discredit you, or to say what he's saying, that ain't true, or hey, he on some other shit, or whatever. We've seen it. They done it to me. I mean, do you really think the people that watch certain shows watch me? Why? Do you think it's because they just don't like me? I mean, I'm a likable guy. Come on, bro. They like me when I'm bearing gifts, when I'm doing shit in the community. They love it when I was doing that. But when I start talking truth, when I start talking about, because the truth came from experiences. It's not shit that I made up. I just start seeing swagglers and people that was moving for the money, and the nonprofits shuffling and jiving, and then using my people as, pawns to be able to move shit around, and using tragedies for certain situations to put and better themselves in. Come on. I watched the shit. It cost me money. And I'm sitting back, I'm like, okay. Some of you heard me make some comments that's realer than you ready to hear. And that is, you got people out here trying to save the streets, and they don't even take care of their own family. How could you sit in front of a psychiatrist to solve your problems and the psychiatrist's family is wrecked? Or, how is a drug addict as a counselor going to tell you how it is to be on drugs and how you shouldn't be on drugs, but the counselor themselves are still smoking butter, still smoking crack, still getting high with blow or whatever, shooting needles? How you going to tell me how to be a better person when you ain't shit? I'm just curious. How you going to tell me how to raise my family? How you going to tell kids how to be better kids, but you ain't playing no part in your own kids' lives? I don't know. We'll all figure that out together. That's all I'm saying. So now you got people coming out, Dre being one of them. I love the brother. I like what he's saying, but he ain't saying nothing new. But what's going to happen is this: the more truth that he come out and tell, y'all put it in the YLI family group. I had already seen the clip, because when he go live, I get the notification. And I'm like, bro, yeah, you're on point. And then what did he say in that clip? Didn't he say something like he was getting letters, or he was getting told not to say certain things, or not to talk about this and talk about that? And when see, when you under the thumb, when you getting paid by them, they can do that. They could tell you what you can and what you cannot say, how you being disruptive. But when you don't depend on their checks, y'all remember, that's how I used to start the show back in the day. I don't need them for anything. So when you don't need them, they can't really muzzle you. They can't shut you up. The way that they shut you up is they start talking to the people that they put in place, their plants, what y'all call and what we call gatekeepers. They put these people in place, and then they make them either come in and be, like agents in the chat and try to do things to discourage what's really been said. That's what they do. They try to make it seem, they try to take the credibility out of the message. That way you won't pay attention and you'll focus on something else. Let's go riot. Let's go do this. Let's focus on this and this and this and that. They don't really want you to attack the root of the problem. They want you to attack the problem. Yeah, there's a difference. You can't start, you can't Not everything is treated like a cold, like the flu. You can attack the flu in the middle of the flu. In the middle, I'm no doctor. I'm just saying you can attack those bad cells, whatever's in you that's got you sick. You can attack it at any point. You don't have to attack it from the root. You can attack it from any point and it'll go away, right? Not everything is handled that way. Some things need to be handled from the root in order for the problem to go away. Vincent Jones says, Wyatt, the truth from the street game and corporate game is the reason why you're talking to us right now. Pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, I don't think I say anything that hurts us. Think about what I say. You might not, even if you don't agree with me. What did I say that was hurt, that like pushes us back years? The progression. How does what I say hurt? If what I'm saying is not true, it still don't hurt anybody. Because I've never been malice about my comments. I've never said anything that would want you to fire the police chief. I've never said anything to make you attack anyone on city council. I've never said anything that'll put people in harm's way, where they feel like somebody need to do something to them out in these streets. I ain't never said nothing like that. I'm telling you that there's systems in place that are against us. But the people who you have to watch ain't always the people that the people in those systems got you watching. Sometimes it's those people in those systems that, that's sitting right in your face in broad daylight. They part of helping things be what they are. And what I'm saying to you is, I'll use an example. Maybe this is a bad example, but it's the one that I can think of. There's no reason why public schools should be as bad as they are, unless it's supposed to be that way. There's no reason. And the reason why it's driven that way is because it's funded. It's all about money. It's really not about the children. And how I can say that is because if you look at who actually runs it, who always plays a pivotal role in hiring and firing, it's always from the money people. It's never from the educators. The educators are the ones that either play by the rules of the game of the money or they get moved somewhere else. I pay attention to the grassroots people, the people that can really make the change. I don't pay attention to the check. The check don't always support what really needs to happen. You got people out here writing checks to keep people out here in these streets and keep things going the way they're going. You would think that a judge, you would think that a prosecutor, you would think that certain people in the court systems would really want evil off the streets. But you got people that have been elected that keep evil on the streets. You got people that have been hired to protect and serve that know how people continuously get out. Wait till Andre get out here and start talking what he talking. I'm going to pray for him. He know what I'm talking about. Now, y'all can be as negative if you want. I'm praying for my brother to be out here and be successful with his messages. Okay, I'm going to make sure, and if there's anything I can do to help him, I will. I've already offered, extended, whatever I can do to help you, brother. Just know that, it's not going to be peaches and cream. It's not going to be sweet. Because what's going to happen is certain people going to hear what you're saying, and then you're going to start getting challenges. You're not going to get challenged on what you're saying. You're going to get challenged. Let me rephrase that. You're going to be challenged for what you're saying, but they're not going to say what you're saying is not true. If that makes any sense. See, I don't have a problem with disagreements. I don't have a problem with someone believing something differently. I don't have a problem with any of that. But here's what I don't like. Let's be honest. Let's be fair. Even if you're making a point. I just don't like people who will disagree with you. They'll disagree with you, and then it changes. They move the goalposts. They'll move the focus of the argument to make it about something else. They'll change the point that we started and now turn it into something where they know system minds will understand their side of that. Not what we talking about. If we talk about public schools and stuff like that and curriculum and our GPAs and if we're talking about that, let's stay there with it. Let's not talk about, well, what they doing over in Kentucky or what they doing in Alabama. Let's not do that. Let's just stick to the point and talk about what it is that could fix the problem that we have in hand. Let's not use other people or other things as an example. Let's not do that. Let's just stick to what we're saying. Or don't focus on me as an individual. Let's focus on the point. Let's focus at what we're talking about on hand. Let's try that. That generally, when you're winning a debate or an argument is when people have to bring other people into your argument, either to have you speak, which means lose focus of what you're talking about and then talk about somebody else. See what I'm saying? Like, oh, well, so what, my man cheating on me? Rob cheating on Vanessa. Rob been cheating on Vanessa for 15 years. You know what I'm saying? Rob ain't in this conversation, nor is Vanessa. We talking about your situation. And because Rob and Felicia, whatever they doing over there, they ain't got nothing to do with what's wrong in our house. It has nothing to do with what we got to work on, me and you and I. It has nothing to do with that. So what? Yeah, I shoot ball with Rob on Wednesday nights or whatever. See what I'm saying? Brenda said, oh, she wanted me to use her name. So what? Philip been cheating on Brenda. I'm just playing, Brenda. I'm in a great mood today. So it's gonna be a shitty show. Y'all know that, right? Whenever I'm in a good mood, it's always a bad show. When I'm in a bad mood, boy, some of y'all like messy. So yeah. Let me ask you something. Do you think it's a coincidence? I know the answer is going to be it's getting hot outside. So do you think it's a coincidence that all these shootings are going on? Like just randomly, like night after night, multiple people getting shot. You really think it's heating up outside? It's about to get crazy. No, that's not what it is. Wintertime, these people will shoot each other. I'm talking about people that's out here about that life. They'll shoot each other in the wintertime too. They just can't find nobody. See, you come outside in the summertime. That's why I understand the analogy is getting hot outside. But some people go too far with it's getting hot outside. They think because it's hot outside and the heat is making people do shit crazy. That I know some people don't believe it, but some people think that way. They think it's the heat got people going crazy. No, I finally found that motherfucker I've been looking for 3 months. Oh, he over at such and such house. He at Tasha's house. Okay. That's why. It's always been up. It's just I can't find him. When I find out where he at, so people don't die and get shot in the wintertime? Sure they do. Because it's all about when I find that MF, I'm going to do him. And I don't care who he with. I don't care if he at his mama house. Them streets vicious. Vincent said it's targeted, Wyatt. Higher level shit. You know what it is, V. You know what it is, bro. And I'm gonna say something that might sound a little. I'm through saying that. Y'all know the type of person I am. You know what I'm going. I stand on what I say. Here's the thing. I hear things like, look, I just had a lady lose her child last night. These are people that I know. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it is very frustrating to watch these 20-year-old, 22, 23-year-old men with all this potential to be great lose their life on bullshit out here that could really be squashed or that could really be dealt with in a different kind of way. But we have systems in place that you think I'm tired of saying systems in place. We got people in place that you think really on your side. And there's some people that really know what's going on. You only know 10% of what's going on out here. The other 90% it's held in information from these entities and these people that we vote for, these captains, these. And here's the problem: they know the real reason. They know. Here's the number one thing that I'm gonna say to go ahead, get ready, find your device and hit the off button here and say, I know you're gonna shut me down when I tell you this. There are people that already know if we don't educate these people, I don't care who these people are, Cincinnati public school, private school, charter school, Catholic school, all that. If we don't educate our people, those people right there, if we don't educate them, chances are they're gonna be out here in these streets and they're gonna be doing illegal shit. There ain't too many too many C-level kids. There ain't too many of us that's out here in these streets shooting guns and playing with each other like that. There ain't too many of us. Okay? The majority of the people out here in these streets that are taking lives are about that life. You know, every once in a while, you hear tragedy of a 4-year-old getting shot by a 6-year-old. Now, that's when you blame a gun or a gun owner, because that's a tragic shooting. It was a mistake. It was an accident. But I'm telling y'all, these killings out here are not accidental. They're not accidental. They're planned. Some are jump offs, like, hey, there you go. Let me go get my, you know what I'm saying? But the majority of them are just pretty much, there's a certain environment going on. And what happens is sometimes innocent people who, look, I was a dude, like some of y'all, like Steph is, I get messed up when I see certain people that come in. Stephanie Covington is somebody that I grew up with through school. What's up, Steph? That's not my Stephanie. That's not Steph, my cousin. This is she like fam, but grew up. What up though? Death Row. Death Row is with her, y'all. I hung out with some thugs. It would have been Donna, no. Auntie, she's like an aunt to me. I hung out with thugs. It would have been a tragedy if I would have got shot, because I don't do what my friends do. You understand? Like, if I would have been out in them streets, because, you know, I told y'all yesterday when I said the only reason why I don't go to clubs, because the shit always fall on me. Like, I find myself in the problem of whatever happened in the club. Whoever there, whatever, they beefing over there, I get in it some kind of way. So I stopped going to clubs. That's kind of like how I felt hanging with my friends. For some odd reason. What up, Gray? My buddies start getting in trouble, so I had to slow down hanging with them. It would have been a tragedy if Wyatt would have got shot up when he was with his buddies, because I didn't do my buddy type shit. I didn't go out. I wasn't stealing cars. I wasn't selling dope. Like I wasn't doing certain things. But I probably would have been the one that took a bullet. I had to back up off one of my best friends in the world because somebody came at me one time. I was at the barbershop. Now, peep this game. Y'all know I keep it 100. I bring the street stories and the shit that's happening out here. Don't get it twisted. All stuff when I say street, I'm talking about ears. I'm talking about things that's out here. So y'all know I'm always going to bring the real to the conversation. I'm in the barbershop one time, and I remember a guy approaching me. Now, he know my buddy. My buddy pretty much one of them dudes. He's a stick-up kid. My buddy off doing whatever he do. I don't know. He living his life doing whatever he do. But this dude come in the barbershop, and I'm sitting there. I'm getting my hair cut and blah, 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 blah. I'm cooking. You know, we all talking and blah, blah, blah. And the dude asked me. He was like, hey, man, you such and such, ain't you? And I was like, yeah. He was like, hey, you seen my partner? You seen him in a while? You his best friend, right? Y'all cool like that. Now, y'all got to understand, because I'm cool and associate with somebody, some of these cats out here will pull you because they know your buddy got love for you. So they'll make it, they not even mad at me. They just trying to get to this individual. I'm not paying the price of somebody else. moves out here on the street. So how do I do? What do I need to do? I got to disassociate myself with certain people because their decisions can come down on me. Things that they doing out here could fall on me. And here you are, got an innocent dude out here just because of his association. Now you got guys out here getting shot, pulled back, kidnapped, making your boy. Y'all think this is an episode on television or something? You really think that like that's the shit that happened on TV? He just tripping. Now there's some people that tell you that's what's going on out here. You ain't never heard somebody tying somebody mama up? They do shit like that. So yeah, it's a lot of innocent people because of our environment, how we grew up, the people that we know. I'm not gonna stop knowing the people that I know. I might not kick it with them. I might not be with them like that. But the streets know who you know, and they know how much love them boys have for you, and they know they'll come tie your ass up. And now you got an innocent dude that got shot, grabbed up, beat down, whatever, for some other stuff that he ain't had nothing to do with. Let me read this one. Stephanie coming to me. What's up, sis? She said, exactly. You know, I know. My son had to do the same thing with his friends. You have to change your environment and the people around you. Absolutely. I know your boy. I know your son. Look, I know his daddy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this shit that we be talking about that people doing to us, no, these are things that's going on from decisions and choices that we making. And what a lot of us don't understand, Steph, you'll know what I'm talking about. We might not even be part of the decision or the choice making that our people making. And we get pulled into this nonsense. This is why I tell some of my buddies, some of my people like, bro, listen, don't do that shit, man, because people know that me and you cool, we connected. And that shit can fall back on me. Or have we not had in the city of Cincinnati a kid getting shot up because of some shit his daddy done did, or some shit his stepdaddy done did? The house getting shot up in Mount Auburn because of some shit that the streets looking for one dude, now a 4-year-old getting shot. We ain't seen that before a few times. I don't want to hear from anybody on. If you are on this live in the comment section and you talking about people out here selling drugs because that's all they had to do, this platform is not for you. I'm about to hurt your feelings. I'm going to go to my grave whenever God calls me saying the same thing over and over and over again. I don't care how preachy, however you want to say it. But I didn't grow up with one that we was poor, okay? But we didn't know it. All right, we was poor. Everybody know that y'all ain't got shit, but nobody's poor. Okay, we ain't never classified ourselves as poor. We ain't got shit. And they still think that way to this day, these young people. They ain't got shit. They ain't got a pot to piss in. And we know it, and they know it. But they ain't gonna represent themselves as poor. But being poor is not even an option. However, my point is this. I ain't never met a young man from my era that had to sell drugs. There's always been other options. You just chose to pick that box. You checked that box. And it wasn't just because you had to pay your mama's Cincinnati Metropolitan $25 a month ass bill. Stop that bullshit. Your mama ain't living in no $2,500 a month apartment and you helping your mama with their rent. How many dudes do you know because he was making dope money and put him out in Mason somewhere with a mortgage? How many people you know was doing that back in the day? None. But you'll roll up in a drop top Mustang that you didn't bought off a motherfucker, buy here, pay here lot somewhere. Because it's about you. It ain't about you ain't sending your little brother or your little sister to college. Stop fronting. You doing all this shit because you the hood superstar. You making this money. I sound like a hater, don't I? No, this is as real as it get. You want the Diodors, you want the shell top Adidas, you want the Adidas sweatsuits, you want the beeper, the jewelry, and all the shit to come with it. You want the girls, you want the flash, you want the fame. That's what you're going for. You ain't feeding no family. You eating better than a lot of people. You can go get your La Rosa's what do they call a steak sandwich anytime you feel like it. That's how we grew up. Ain't nobody out here selling drugs because it's the only option. That shit is not it. Selling drugs in the streets is a lifestyle that a lot of people like. It's a choice. It's a choice. People out here in these streets because they think that shit gangster. They think it's cool. And what baptizes it is the music. They got choir. Streets is like the church. They got the pimp, the slick tongue cats keeping them motivated. They passing the plate around, keeping each other somewhat they street nigga rich. They got the choir, that's the music. They got everything they need to stay in the space that keep it comfortable. And they don't want to hear from somebody like me. They don't want to hear from nobody like you. They don't want to hear that shit, bro. Some of them are okay to go do a dime in the penitentiary. Some of them are okay saying they only gonna live 10 more years or 5 more years, or they could die next week. They cool with that. How do you deal with somebody that don't care? The only way that you can deal with a person who don't care is you got to stop caring. Tracy Dillingham said everybody want to be Big Meech. And here's the problem. It don't matter, Tracy, how that shit end. Now do it. I ain't seen one gangster ass movie where the gangster live in paradise and calling all these shots, making all this money, sis, and he live at the end. The movies prepare our street boys to have a short life. I'm cool. I'm gonna live in paradise for this little run. Nigga, if I die at 30, oh well. Oh well. Shit, I had a good life. I was cool. Shit, I had everything I needed. Respect, money, power. Had some kids and shit. Little rah-rah, little motherfucker ZZ and Puffy P. Look just like me. Shit, I'm cool. Smoke me some trees and lay it down. I'm cool. I had a good life. Don't even see that the destruction that you just passed on destruction. And ain't nobody really saying this. This is what's wrong. We always got these programs. We got the street basketball at midnight. We got the skating. Look, when I say these things, these are not criticisms. This is just awareness of what's really going on. You can put all these programs. I grew up with programs. Some of the dudes that I know in the dirt right now are doing 20 years or about to get out of the joint or been beating women and all that old shit. They was in programs with me at the boys club. We was all kicking it. The program is not 24/7. I used to tell my brother-in-law, he used to be married to my wife's sister. Bro, you can't mentor that little boy and think you're going to get him on a Saturday. Y'all going to go to Kings Island. You're going to feed him and treat him and show him a good time and this and old shit. And then drop him down back off in the concrete jungle and think he going to be like you. You can't give no kid no damn weekend or a weekend day and think that he about to turn out like you. You went to college. You had things in front of you. You had 24 awareness of a better life around you. No politician's gonna provide that for you. No congressman, no city council, no mayor, no police officer. Nobody gonna be than your mom and your dad. And if you're not ready to be one of those, stop having children. You part of the problem. Let me ask y'all something. I didn't watch it. I really wish I would have watched it, but I didn't know they had a dress code. And I didn't know shit was going to be different. The BET Awards, did anybody watch it? By the show of hands, by thumbs, let me know if you watched it. I know a lot of y'all don't want to act like, you hear. There's people watch the show that act like they ain't here. But now let me Who all watched it? I heard it was a pretty good situation because they made guys pull their pants up. They had guys in tuxes and women didn't have, all this all over the place. Ass wasn't all over the stage. And, I heard it was a little bit better. It had a little bit of respect. That's what I heard. It's going to take a couple years. I don't want, Kurt Franklin still was up there in his tight ass suit though. I heard that there was still some tight jeans in there, but I heard it was a better situation. I heard it was a lot more respectable. And I hope so. And I hope that's the beginning of getting back to the normal BET. Let me ask you something. Is it true what I heard about Gorilla, the female rapper? I watched the clip. I know it's true. Did Gorilla, okay, Stephanie said it was a great show. I enjoyed it for the first time in years. I ain't ever known Stephanie to be no liar. So I'm going to say it was a good show. I'm going to say it was a good show. I watched some clips. I've seen enough to be able to say, okay, Ty Kanai, what's his name? Ty Kai and all them guys had on suits and tuxes. Kevin Hart was up there. He don't say a lot of, he don't curse. He don't really curse like that. I'm sure he kind of had some fun with the stage. And, it was a little bit different. The performers came out. I seen one that they had like Trick Daddy and Trina come out. I know how his lyrics are, but I know Trick Daddy, okay. That's probably, I don't know what all the acts look like. But someone told me. No, nobody told me. I watched the clip. I'll pull that back. I'll bring that back. Someone told me that Gorilla won an award for a gospel. Now, before you get to throwing the cheers and the eyes and the oohs in the screen, has gospel music people heard Gorilla's albums outside of that gospel song she won an award for? I mean, have you heard the shit that she do? Have you seen how she dresses? Do you see her tattoos? Now, I'm not talking about people that have tattoos. I'm talking about specific tattoos. So now I'm about to be that guy that a lot of people love to portray me as being a hater. But I'm glad it's not just me. There's some people from the gospel world who just are tripping. Like, whoa. Do y'all know that's like I don't know, man. That's like somebody, that's like Nino Brown giving out turkeys. Did I not say Glorilla? I didn't say Girlrilla. Did I say, I didn't say girl, I can't even say Girlrilla. I said Glorilla, didn't I? I talk fast sometimes, so maybe I did. If AK-47 said I said it, so let me correct it. Glorilla, either one of them, both of them, neither one of them deserve. I shouldn't say don't deserve. That's for them to decide. For me, I'm with the reasonable thinking gospel artist who says you have to be careful who infiltrates our industry because they represent a certain, look, she ain't bringing nobody that's about to convert over to Christianity. That ain't what, she ain't about to bring no street dudes over and they about to put on some crosses and shit and gonna stop doing what they doing out here in the streets. That's not what she represent, the streets. Now, let me say it how she would say it. Y'all know I represent. She just has a Texas, she has a Texas dialogue that's just ridiculous. Like, it's kind of cute. It's kind of cute because I remember. Yeah, I gotta understand. I'm not attacking when I say that because I lived in New Orleans. New Orleans. I'm gonna tell you how crazy New Orleans is in a few words, just a few words. You don't know if you're talking to a black person or a white person in New Orleans. Like when you in Cincinnati or you in Florida, you could pretty much tell. Or when you're on the phone with somebody, You could tell, is she from Tennessee? Oh yeah. That's right. She from Memphis. She from Tennessee, from Memphis. That's what it is. She from Memphis. But in New Orleans, I don't know. Anybody ever lived in New Orleans? Anybody lived in New Orleans or stayed in New Orleans for a long period of time? Anyone ever been there? Not on the tourist area, not just down in not just in the French Quarter. Have you ever mingled and bingled and been in New Orleans? I had school teachers in New Orleans. I had people that I worked with. I had friends from New Orleans that lived there. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. New Orleans is one of the only places in the world that you can't tell if you're talking to a white person or a black person. They all sound the same. Deep voice, don't have an R in anything they say. They don't say corner. Like we say, I'm going to the street corner. I'm going to the corner store to get me a pop. First of all, they would have never said a pop. They say, I'm going to the Conda and get me a cold drink. Everything's a cold drink. If you say, if one of your partners give you $5, say, hey man, they not gonna say go get me a Pepsi. Some motherfuckers gonna say, go up to the Conda to get me cold drink. So a dude from the Midwest, shit, a cold drink just mean grab something. You didn't say red pop, Pepsi, Coke. You didn't say an orange Fanta. You ain't say none of that shit. What's a cold drink? Just, I gotta figure this shit out. They never tell you anything specific. Just bring me cold drink. Go up to the Conda and give me cold drink. And when you bring something wrong, now y'all arguing. Because I would say shit like, well, what kind of pop do you want? What's a pop? Now, what's more, I mean, I'm defending my Midwest. I'm defending us Midwest. What sounds more reasonable? Because you know they say that what we call pop, it's soda pop, right? Isn't I don't want to sound ancient, but ain't that what they generally called it back in the beginning? Soda pop. So me saying pop, don't you think that's a little closer to just saying cold drink? A cold drink could be a water. A cold drink could be a beer. It could be anything. But they call all their sodas, all their pop, cold drink. Let me get off that. Some of you understand it was a much frustrating thing for a 7th grader. I'm out here fighting with dudes over shit. I'm fighting them for their culture. I'm sitting there trying to explain shit to them. I've always been that type of kid, like trying to explain. I ain't trying to change you, but I'm just trying to make you understand why I feel the way I feel or see what things the way I see it. I'm in the 7th grade fighting, motherfucker. Mama, fighting 2-3 dudes because of some shit that I don't agree with, what they saying and all this old shit. Going home, my clothes all messed up. What you do? What happened? And me and Ricky got into it and shit because he gonna. Now, one of my favorite people in the world was somebody that worked at, what they call that place? Y'all know them Circle K's, them gas stations? Her name was Miss Rhonda. Oh, Stephanie said New Yorkers think we're country. They not the only ones. Guess who think we country, Steph? People that live in New Orleans. They called me country. They called this the first time I ever have been in my life been called a red bone. That's where I first heard it in my life. They didn't start calling light-skinned people red bones in Ohio or in Florida. I never heard it as a child growing up. Red bone wasn't our thing. When I got to New Orleans, they would call me red. I didn't have on a red jacket or red shoe. I didn't understand it, but they call all light-skinned people in New Orleans red bone. I took offense to it. Red. Fuck you, Tom. Red. See, that's why I used to get into it. We fought. But here's the thing. I couldn't understand my teachers. I couldn't understand half. I didn't know if they were from New Orleans. I didn't understand them. What words coming out of their mouth. I couldn't understand it. And they called me country. Because when I say corner and I add every like corner, y'all don't hear it Y'all don't hear it, but to them it sounds just like somebody from the South, like Tennessee, and they say the corner. That is slangs out to them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like in Baltimore. Baltimore the same way. They the same. They don't say thing. They don't say do. They say do. They don't finish the word. So everybody else sounds. They have this country slang to what they say. In New Orleans, I couldn't believe that they called me red, and they would call me country boy. I'm from the Midwest. You in the South? How am I country? Y'all jacked up ass. I couldn't even understand my English teacher half the time. She was black. Matter of fact, all my teachers was black. I went to Carr Junior High in New Orleans. Best school I ever went to for athletics. We was dope at everything. I got a chance to play football and baseball in the Superdome. What junior high kid is able to do that? I ain't never seen. Well, they do probably have high schoolers in Cincinnati that get a chance to play in Paul Brown Stadium, right? Or Paycor now. They have like St. X and Mole in them. They get to play in them stadiums. They were doing the junior high back in New Orleans, bro. They about their sports in New Orleans. Trust me. That's why LSU and all that be recruiting from junior high. They've been doing that shit for 30 years. That all being said, I couldn't understand my English teacher to save my life. I couldn't understand hardly anybody. And they said it was me. Like if I brought anybody from Cincinnati to New Orleans, it's still that way today. It's still that way today. And now I listen to New Orleans, and I listen to guys who talk about the education system in New Orleans, and they have 12th graders graduating with third grade reading levels. Ha! They thought it was me. Third grade reading levels, but hey, don't laugh, Cincinnati. Don't laugh, St. Pete. Don't laugh, Orlando. We got them in here in these cities as well. We got 12th graders with third grade and fourth grade reading levels in these schools. Yeah, but Gorilla won a gospel song with Kurt Franklin. Who? Okay, go guess. Kurt Franklin. Have y'all seen Kurt Franklin perform? I'm not hating on him. I just got to keep it 100. I never thought I would see somebody. Do you really think? What's that gospel group? What's the family? I'm drawing a blank. What's the girl? What's the girl with the guys? What family is it that sang all those songs coming up, and they were clean cut? They were singing R&B style songs when we was coming up. God, somebody put it in the comment. I ain't gonna be able to go on unless I hear shit. I can't think of them. The Winans. Thank you, Denise Davis. Thank you, DD. Can you imagine if the Winans came out looking like Kurt Franklin come out and doing all them dances and shaking his ass and doing the stomp and doing all this old goofy ass shit and saying God bless you in the Lord? Can you imagine if CeCe Winans was tatted up like Gorilla? Did I say it right? Glorilla. Can you imagine gospel singers coming out in tight ass jeans with the jeans hanging off their ass and up there swerving and doing the shit like you at the motherfucking, like you at the whatever nightclub is popping in your city? Can you imagine? Do you see how hypocritical it is to be out as a gospel artist? Look, I pay way more respect to gospel artists because I believe that lyrics matter. Okay, I believe that when you talking about some dumbass shit in your lyrics, you probably on some dumbass shit and you probably talking to some dumbass people. Generally, when you talking about something of substance and you praising God and you living, you talking about good things in life or motivational things, you probably talking to people that got some sense and need a little bit of motivation and they need a little bit to go over the hump. That's usually what music matches mentality. I don't hear motherfucking Kurt Franklin on the block. But he get up on stage like he's singing and dancing to Jeezy concert goers. I don't, it just don't match to me. Tight ass pants and all that old shit. And he bent all over doing all that old shit I never knew how to do. It just don't make sense to me. It don't make sense to me, and I just got to call it out for what it is. I just think that, you know, now don't get it twisted. I'm not sitting here trying to say that all gospel people, y'all know, if you've been on Wyatt Live long enough, you know I got some stories about when I went to church and some of the people in the choir. Shit, the choir used to smoke. And I don't mean up on stage. I mean, they shit. We go on in 10 minutes. They used to get down. All right. I mean, you know, they a star every week. They go on tour. They go from that church to that church. They on tour. All that shit. But at the same time, when you're talking about a global stage and you're representing something that's supposed to be as pure as God, and I know some people that are going to say things like, but wait a minute, Wyatt, if we let people like Glorilla come in, she going to bring her crowd in and we can convert that crowd. No, you not. No, you not. That's like saying, oh, we about to do a gun buyback on the streets. Does that shit work? Y'all get 200 guns that people buy in, that they turn in and they buy them. They take them raggedy ass guns off the street. You know why? Because they got a pretty ass Beretta or another 9mm. They just came to get the motherfucking Walmart card. I'm gonna get $50 Walmart card for this rusty ass 5-shooter. Here, take that motherfucker. I'm gonna get me a Walmart card and I'm gonna go up to Walmart and get me something to eat. It don't stop. I know it's serving a purpose, but it don't stop their purpose. The streets, it don't stop that at all. See, everything that's meant to sound good and feel good, that's all it is. Sound good, feel good type shit. And there's people that profit from it, and they know they profit from it. If you look at a lot of the nonprofits across the country, the ones that y'all swole up about right now, well, they about to take Snap and all this. It's all these third, fourth tier companies that are out here bitching and complaining about how Snap about to go away, this about to stop, blah, blah, blah. You know why they bitching and you know why? Because they make $300,000 a year to run their program that they give $20,000 a year to. Make that make sense. What would happen if you found out I started a nonprofit organization for young men in suits? Remember when I did that? Well, some of you do, some of you don't. Some of you remember the days that I would go on. It was before Wyatt Live even started. I would go out. I had my people that I work with, and I furnished the young men with suits. Okay, and it was all in-house type of a thing. Let's just say I was not a nonprofit organization in real life, but let's just say I was, just to make my point. If I was a nonprofit organization and I was getting $500,000 a year to run that program, and I paid myself $400,000, and I paid Regina $25,000 a year, and then I paid Lamont $20,000 a year. And y'all find out with the other $5,000, that's what I commit to the nonprofit organization to buy suits for the kids. How would you feel about me if that's what was going on? How would you feel that I didn't pay myself $400,000, $25,000 to a staff member, $20,000 to another staff member, and $5,000 is left that I commit to the program? Go in and look at these CEO salaries of some of these nonprofit organizations that you support. Or not necessarily support financially. You do because you pay your taxes toward, and the tax dollars go towards some of this, a lot of it. But if they're nonprofits, they're public. Go look at how much money the people make in those programs, and you find out if they really doing it out of grace of their heart or this is the best I can do. Like, I can't go corporate and make $300,000 a year. Shit. I'd have to be educated. I had to do something. I have to be worth something. I have to bring some value. I got to make the company some money to validate my 300,000, my $250,000 a year. The hustle is what y'all see, all this old fake shit of these fake programs. Now, that don't say all of them. I know some people right now can't stand what I be talking about. Can't stand it. If what I'm saying is not true, just prove me wrong. Just say, Wyatt, you're making up shit. It's wrong. It's wrong. What you're saying is not true. You're falsely representing things. Now, keep in mind, what I gave you as a description of what I see it as is not for every company. But what I'm telling you to investigate and what I'm telling you to look into is how much money a lot of the nonprofit organization hierarchies make. You don't have to be mad. You don't have to be like I'm, on some bullshit. You don't have to do all of that. Just go research it for yourself. It's very easy to find. And then tell me if you still feel that same way about some of these programs. And some of these programs get arrogant. They're sedity. They act like you owe them that. If they don't get the money, I got some people that I used to help, like organizations. And if they come get 5,000 one year and you be like, well, you know what? I'm having some financial situations where I got to cut back some of my giving. They'll look at you like you crazy and motherfucker. Just like if you help your cousin or help somebody in your family with a little $50 towards their rent, $100 towards their rent. And then they back the next month, you help them again. You help them again, and then the fourth time when they come, you be like, man, I ain't really got it. They look at you like, well, shit, you had it last time. Or, man, you tripping. You just bought the new car. Yeah, I just bought a new car. That's why I don't have it. Or my daughter's going to school. Or I got to get some school clothes for my baby. Or I got to do something that, for me, for my family. And you tripping because I told you no after saying yes 4 straight times? We all didn't face that. Stop. We all have faced that. Let me go to the phone lines, man. I'm getting short on time here. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
What up, man?
Hey, what's going on? Twin, what's happening, bro?
I can't call it. What's up, you hater? You hating on the dope boy, huh?
Always.
What you hating for, man?
So I should be proud of my dope dealers?
Of course. It's a hustle.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll never
Everything-
stop anybody's money, but I certainly won't praise bad money.
No, I'm just joking.
I
It's
know
just
you
a
are.
choice you make.
I know.
You got, even though you got a job and your guys doing this and all that, hey, put me on. And
Okay.
you want to floss too or whatever.
Okay.
I never been that type though, but hey, I had to get some extra money out here, man. Whatever. I saw what my brother was doing, how much money they was making, my uncle did it and all them. Hey, I gotta go.
Twin.
Huh?
There's a difference.
What?
There's a difference. There's a difference between being okay, y'all might not understand, or like y'all might trip out on me when I say this because I'm about to tell you something.
What you mean it's a difference? Hey, if I'm making $200, bring on $200, why can't I bring on 3 or 4 bands a week?
You can't.
What you talking about? I need some more money.
Yeah,
I know it's consequences behind it, but I know.
There's a
You playing
difference.
with it's a game. You ain't no damn difference.
It is. If you give me a word, I'll let you see. You might be
Go
like,
ahead.
damn, that's true. That's true. There is a huge difference from being a full-time dope dealer and a part-time dope dealer. All right. There's a huge difference. Can I describe what a full-time versus a part-time is, if it'll make sense to you? It'll make sense to you, but I want people to understand what I'm saying. All right. The difference between a full-time drug dealer and a part-time drug dealer is this. My mama was a part-time drug dealer. Twin was a full-time dope dealer. All right. When you're making $3,000 a day, you're a full-time dope dealer. A part-time dope dealer is somebody like this. And some of y'all part-time dope dealers used to be, and you might not see it the way I see it because I called you this. But a part-time drug dealer is somebody that sell weed to their friends. Just occasionally, because that's what it is. They might buy an ounce, smoke a half an ounce, sell the other half an ounce, so they would be smoking for free. That's not somebody that's paying their bills being a drug dealer. That's a part-time drug dealer. That's somebody that casually sells drugs. I'm not justifying it, but I'm just telling you, it's a difference between a full-time drug dealer and a part-time drug dealer. Now, Do you agree or disagree with that?
I agree with that.
Okay, see, if you let me get my words out occasionally, twin, we might come
Come
up with
on, man.
we might come up with a
man. I
with a
know about
medium.
the streets, man. What it is and everything, man. You know, I got a vent. Gorilla. Hold on. Oh man, hold on. Let me take you out there. Crazy car. Yeah, but Gorilla, yeah. She I don't too much. I think I like that B one that that one when she first came out. Other than that, man, I uh listen to her song and all that, and I ain't too much like it.
Okay,
All them
I
rap
never
songs,
even
cause
heard the song.
she wasn't talking about nothing
Which song?
and
You talking about the
everything.
gospel song?
No, not the gospel song.
Oh, okay.
Any other song.
Her
But
regular
that
rap.
gospel song, yeah, I mean, that's just to hype her up with her and Kurt Frank. I don't know how she got it, but to each his own. And I've seen like a couple of clips on the BT, but I've been start watching it, man. Cause it was I don't know, it was trash, and they couldn't read a teleprompter all correct and all that, and it was like bootleg to me. So I really stopped watching it. But I
Okay.
seen her when she was just on there, her ass out and all that.
Yeah,
She was
yeah.
backsliding.
Yeah. I got some partners of
Yeah,
mine that went on vacation last year, and they said they went to a club. Well, it wasn't them; it was their kids went to a
yeah,
club, and she was in the club performing a song, and then had no clothes on, really, like a swimming suit with like a cover over it. Like you know how when you go
yeah,
to the beach and the
yeah,
women have the swimming
yeah,
suit on and a cover up that you can see through.
yeah,
They said, and they
yeah.
showed the video, like they showed her come out
Mm-hmm.
in the club, and she just did a song or two, just happened to be in Miami, and she did it. I
Yeah.
don't know, they tend to do that in Miami. Stars will show
Yeah,
up
I
and just
seen that.
yeah. I
What's that
mean,
group? Second Wind from Cincinnati. They
okay,
was one of the members was there.
okay, yeah. That,
Yeah, I
that
seen
happens a lot in
a flick
Miami.
on that too. But other than that, man, I don't watch that. But you ain't peep when dude got up there, Tyler Perry, when he started talking about Mexico and what Trump doing. You see, they point the camera at Snoop.
Yeah.
You ain't peep that, did
Um, I seen it in the
you?
video
I'm
that
like, man, they dirty, man.
well,
Snoop looked at him like, yeah, I'm still getting money.
well, I mean, that's what it's all about. Okay, it's all
Yeah,
about trying to make people feel funny about however they feel
yeah,
or whatever they believe in. That's how you see that was a shame. That's one of them shame moves that they try to put on
yeah,
Snoop so he'll change his feelings and how he doing. And it's not always it's not always it's not always wise to speak
yeah,
or come out and feel how you really want to feel. Sometimes you got to play along with the people that are that the majority. Sometimes you either, I mean, the
yeah.
best way sometimes is just not to say anything. It's you got
But
to
how
be
many?
brave. You got to absolutely be brave to tell your truth to some people, because it's almost like somebody that make it and they say that the reason why they made it is they put the work in. So there's
Yeah,
some people that would interpret that as saying, oh, so you think we don't work hard? You think we no, it's not that, bro. It's maybe we had different obstacles. So, I mean, I ain't talking about Snoop in this case. I'm talking about in general. It's like
yeah,
a boxer. It's like fighters. Everybody work hard, not all, but the majority of people who want to be champions, they train like a champion, they live a champion style life, but there's only one guy with a belt in the weight class. But everybody want to be that guy. Everybody can't be that guy because everybody don't put the same work level in.
hey, between the two, you think what's her name, Clarissa Shields? You think she got robbed there for that award?
Yeah.
Angel Reese took it,
Well, I don't want to say okay, look, it all depends. What was the award for female
probably
athlete
that's
of the year?
something like that.
How could now y'all gonna really think I'm hating on Angel Reese,
Cause the
but
girl
what
been in the game for a minute, man.
yeah, but what has Angel Reese done?
Nothing. She's only been here 2 years. This is her
Okay,
second year, but your
and
girl
this
been in
is
the game. They should have gave it to her, man. She's Olympic,
man, she's a four-time gold
right?
medalist.
And I'm like, man, she
Oh, what
got
the
robbed.
fuck? See, what it is it shows me that some things just don't really um some things don't really change. Because look,
Right,
they glorifying um the Angel Reese girl because she's always in some mess. All right, I don't
right.
want to take anything away from the fact that she might be a great person away from the cameras and doing all that old shit. But come on now. Clarissa Shields, not because I like boxing. I love boxing, but I love basketball. And I watch female basketball. But Angel Reese has not done anything in the sport of professional women's basketball to be recognized as athlete of the year. That's ridiculous. They're not giving her that because she's the athlete of the year. They're giving it to her because she might be the most athletic female on social media. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But she's not the best female athlete out there. That's dumb as hell. When Clarissa Shields clearly is in a more brutal sport, a 4-time Olympian, and has overcome way more obstacles, has a movie out about her, and she's a world champion. So that means she's conquered the highest level of her sport. You can't say that about Angel Reese.
Right. And then, you know, like Midwest, like Chicago, they say pop. And then you was right, down south, they say, hey, young, go get one of them cold. Go get one of them cold out there cool, man. And then, you know, y'all say soda, though, here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, no, do we say
Yes,
soda?
yeah,
Okay, we probably
they
do.
like, hey, go get one of them sodas or
No,
go
we
get
say
one of them
pop. We say
Dixie
pop.
cups. I'm like, what's a Dixie cup?
Oh, don't get me on that. Don't get me on that, because a Dixie cup is the only way that you're supposed to call an icy in the cup like that. It's a Dixie cup. We didn't have those discussions and arguments and all that.
Man,
It's a Dixie cup.
Man. I'm like, what's a damn Dixie cup?
But no, correct. But wait a minute. For the audience, let's do a poll in Cincinnati. If you're up in Cincinnati, we call it pop. We don't call it soda. More of us call it pop.
Some of y'all say soda here. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, we might. I mean, you got a couple of uppity ass little motherfuckers that might say soda. But for the most part, Cincinnati call it pop, bro. That's what I got. That's what I got in my altercations for in New Orleans, because I was fighting for that shit like it's pop.
And in New Orleans, man, they funny, man. They talk so fast because I was through, you know, Ninth Ward and all that, Fifth Ward. Well, cause you know I got people down there, and I was like, man, they some country talking people here.
Hey, bro, they called me country, twin.
Man, I love that gumbo, man. One thing about it, man, I love that gumbo.
Yeah, look, they got something for your ass down there when it comes to food.
Yeah,
right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, there was something that I was living for down there, and it's called. They don't call it what it really is called. Y'all know pecans. They don't call pecans. They call it pecan. Once again, they take letters out of the. So they have this candy called pecan candy, bro. It's the best candy in the world. It's just I've learned to make it, but I can't make it like they make it, and it ain't nothing but a piece of sugar. It's sugar. I finally
agree with you on something. Yep.
Well, you're getting smart. You're getting better. You're getting better. All right.
Hey,
what else you got, bro?
Hey, Wyatt.
What's happening?
Hey, man, this what triggers me, man. For the last 10 years, I say, you know, as a local, I've been in Cincinnati almost 20 years, man. I like it and everything, even though I wish my own to say stay in Chicago, but, you know, it made me a better person who I am today. But, hey, Wyatt, my thing is this, dog. You mean to tell me this going on in LA with the Mexicans? We ain't got nothing to do with this. They up there burning the flags and all that, like you said. But when the black folks had problems and all that, where they was at? So if y'all want y'all answers, you Mexicans, go holler at the LGBT and the Black Lives Matter and NAACP. See, can they help you? Because Twin not going to help you, and I'm not going to get out there with you. Well, y'all clowning. And let me tell you this, White. Let me tell you this, player. Hey, why is it that when we hear problems, either whether from the shooting or the stabbing or something like that, don't nobody come speak for us? But you get a white woman that got stabbed and everything, her husband got killed, stabbed, whatever the situation was, she speak out, now everybody on her team. Well, but what about the black people stabbing and all that, man?
I hear you.
What about these killers and all that? But it take a white woman, but you can answer Ozzy, and you told us to come down here and vote for your sorry ass. And that's why I say things are phony to me, White. Give me a real nigga, man, I can holler at. Somebody that can come to my face, we can sit down and talk some, man. But you get this BS up in there, and just because she white, now you want to hear a mayor and a local leader? Man, that's fair. I get so frustrated and mad out there. I'm like, man, these people ain't real, man. They ain't real to me, man.
I hear you.
And people love that. I'm different, White. I'm different. And that's why people don't like me and my logic, my delivery. Cause I'm not, I'm not getting along with you niggas, man. I'm different, man. I don't think like y'all. Y'all can butt fuck all that shit.
Okay,
but I'm not with the gay shit, man.
Okay, twin.
Y'all can do all that. I'm not gonna shake hands with the devil.
I hear you.
I'm not. Forgive me, Lord. But man, I can't do it, right? And I just sit back like, man, they bogus, man. And people really rallying up. Yes, I'm sorry about your. I'm sorry too, but then what about our people? Y'all you mean to tell me this man cut off an ankle, man? Why you only allowed to go 100 feet from your house, man, or 50 yards? You mean to tell me I ain't get that beat? Man, my dad was on house arrest. He went a couple of, even though he was in the backyard or whatever, he went a couple of feet more, inches more or whatever. And hey, we got to call stuff. Mr. Jordan stuff, such. He there? Yeah, my dad here. Can you go get him? Hey, dad, come here. They called. He had to plug it up, verify, whatever. But you mean to tell me, soon as we cut that wire, you ain't get the beep?
No,
come on,
twin,
man.
Let me make it make sense. What you're saying, I understand. I hear you. Okay, there's a whole lot.
And one more thing, like you said,
more thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, they know what's going on with everything, these murders and all that. So they letting them out, Wyatt. Just like you said yesterday, the day before, they letting them out right back in the same hood, man. Saying, hey, go do it again.
It's never changed.
It's crazy. You just cut that lady head off, and you just stabbed it, and you get a bomb. You gotta be a fool.
Well, I've
here.
never seen that. I've never seen. See here, let's not look. Here's what happens when you really want to start making a point. Twin, I need you to calm down for a second. We gotta put something together. I hear you. I hear your frustrations, and I agree with what you're saying.
If I'm loud and stuff, my ears.
It's passion. It's passion. We hear you. But listen, here's what you got to do. When you're trying to make a valid point, there's no need to exaggerate. Okay, just say it for what it is. You don't have to exaggerate. So when you say something like this, you had me all the way up to you cutting people's head off.
No, this dude.
Hold on, let me say it.
Dude, damn near killed this girl, man.
I know.
And they let him out on the OR.
What? Say it again.
Champagne. He damn near killed this girl. I'm like, how you get out? My sister-in-law was telling me.
Okay, I missed. Look, bro, I thought what you were talking about was an instance in Cincinnati. I just read about it. But I think, see, when you say and you're not, okay, once again, you have to explain to people where you're going.
My bad. But then dude got domestic and all that in his background. Didn't he get out for that?
When he just
in prison? The guy that stabbed the white girl.
Let's talk about
downtown,
that one. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that one for a second. Let's put it in proper perspective. Yes, the man was released to society under he was released, I believe. If I don't want to say the wrong thing. I believe
was
he was
halfway house or
he was paroled. He was paroled. He was paroled. Okay.
Oh, he'd be bored, dude.
No, he was paroled. Okay. And when you're paroled, there's a halfway house or whatever situation may be. So he had to wear ankle bracelet, an ankle monitor, which is home incarceration. He cut it off back in February, I believe. He's been on the run since February. But look at where he's on the run. He's on the run in the hood, in the neighborhood. Here's where Twin has a point. What he's trying to tell you guys is they okay with these people running in certain areas. This guy wouldn't have been on home incarceration and been on the run so long if he was a Butler County out in the Mason area in Cincinnati or some other area. If he was in Sheriff Jones's jurisdiction, this guy there would have probably been more of a effort to catch him, and probably the community would have been aware of this person being in the community and out. He's probably a danger to the community. You see what I'm saying? There will be an awareness there. This is totally different than the stuff that I've been talking about, but it is relevant in a certain kind of way. I'm talking about people that commit crimes in their neighborhood, and judges and certain people allow little to no, little to no bond, if you want to call it, or supervision when they have cases pending. Like the 18-year-old who got out on a gun charge, and on a gun charge. He got out on an OR. He didn't have any family. His mama is at home in Westwood. He get out on an OR bond. They drop him off where at? In Westwood. He get out in Westwood within a week. He's already out there with another gun, get into a gunfight, probably against the people who he had to carry a gun for in the first place. They get into a fight. They get into a gunfight. A 6-year-old, 11-year-old, and an 8-year-old get shot. The 8-year-old is in a wheelchair. But my point was, this kid had no business out on the streets. If you're going to drop him off in the same neighborhood, what do you think's going to happen? And I'm looking at the residual. I'm looking at how they're dropping and making it possible for these people to be dropped off in the same neighborhood that they causing problems in. And when they shoot and kill one another, there's no uproar. All right. And the uproar should be, why do we have people out here in pending cases shooting and firing guns across the street and kids are getting hit? Innocent people are suffering because there's people that advocate for people to stay out on the streets as well. It's not just the people that are making the decisions. Some of them are making the decision to release these people back into society because they don't want the blowback from certain community members, certain people. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's like the same people that bitch and complain about what's being done to them are a huge part of the problem of why it's being done to them, because they advocate for something that they don't realize is happening. They don't get it. It's like, damn, it's like, y'all know Lil Ricky on the corner selling dope. Lil Ricky on the corner selling dope. Lil Ricky just got brought in by the police. He come in, he get out in 2 days. He back up on the corner selling dope. Don't nobody call the police on Lil Ricky. And then when the police come in there, they catch Lil Ricky up there again. He got pending charges. He on the box, but he up there selling dope. And when he run, the police chase him. And then they drag his ass somewhere. For that advocate, they didn't have to do Lil Ricky like that. Lil Ricky ain't do nothing to nobody. What he do? He ain't do nothing. Lil Ricky got 3 cases pending. Snitching, still selling dope. And you got people that advocate for shit like that. Because they don't really know. They don't really know what's going on. They ain't been to no courtroom. They ain't been to no hearings. They don't know pending charges. They don't know history of this individual. But they advocating for somebody because of the optics of what it looked like that's happening to him. They don't even care that he is hurting his own community. They don't even care. I shouldn't say they don't care. They don't take that in consideration when they make their arguments. And nor does some of the judges. Not all. You got some judges that know what it is and they handle it the right way. I don't have a problem. Look, bonds are not supposed to be put on people for punishment. But it is supposed to take in consideration what they're going to do when they get out. If you don't have a job, and there's a score sheet when you go to court. Do you realize that? There's a score sheet. And what I'm telling you is this. The higher you score on the score sheet, the better chance you have of getting out of jail so you can handle your business while you have this, this case pending. The lower you score, chances are you're going to get a higher bond because you don't really have anything to live for out here. I know that sounds harsh, but that's how they see it. If you don't have a job, if you don't have something going for yourself, you ain't going to miss nothing. You're going to probably get out and go do some crazy shit because that's what you do. You notoriously run the streets. So why should this person have the same privilege of a low bond from somebody that might score? I think the highest score is a 12. And if somebody score a 10 because they're in school working, mom came in, the mother's there, she works, do all that old shit. Thank you, Stephanie. You know what it is. Stephanie, can I say it? Didn't you work in pretrial? See what I'm saying? She said, yes, I did those score sheets. Is the highest 12 or 13, Steph? Can you educate these folks? Educate the ones that really need to know, sis. Come on, sis. We got too many people out here advocating and thinking some shit ain't fair and thinking everybody just being treated a certain way. When in fact, there's systems in place to be able to keep people where they belong until some other shit get worked out. But yet you got people out here that will defend Nino Brown. You'll defend Nino Brown, and you can't wait for New Jack City 2 to come out. Even though you seen him fall down the stairway, you can't wait for his ass to come home.
You crazy.
It's the truth.
New Jack City 2.
It's the truth, bro. You can look, bro.
I know, man. I know. It's crazy.
Davis Denise
Yep.
said, advocating for the criminal, shake my head at the expense of community. That's absolutely right. Because those are the leaders, DD, that I'm telling you, them the ones that's only relevant if they bitching about something. They don't care if it's right or wrong. They can make it sound as right as they possibly can. Don't do them babies. Don't do them kids like that. Don't do it. I know them people don't watch this show because they can't really, you know what I'm saying? They can't say I'm wrong. They can say I'm wrong. But we got 30, 40 years of what I'm saying to be true. That's
Right.
all I'm saying. I ain't asking nobody to believe me. I'm just bringing the information for you to see it and you believe it for yourself. I ain't got to say nothing out. Like that, twin, what I was telling you is when you're telling the truths about things, you don't have to exaggerate it.
You're right.
See what I'm saying? I'm not sitting here exaggerating. What I'm telling you is real. My sister Steph know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know about the system. And then Wyatt, just like you say, man, Bullet ain't got no time or date on it. Hey, you can get it in any time. Spring, fall, winter, summer. It's just like you said. Hey, all right, it's cold right now. All right, I'm gonna get them though. It's raining right now. It's snowing right now. What I'm gonna get them? Where you seeing that? He at Kroger's right now. He at Walmart right now. Matter of fact, he at the game. And it's about a matter of time when you catch your op or whatever. And that thing, just because it's snowing out, it might be snowing out. I'm gonna catch you one day.
Right.
You gotta get it.
Right.
You gotta feel me. So it ain't gotta wait for no summertime. It just ain't the right timing yet. But when I catch you, I'm gonna catch you.
Right.
And then spring,
twin, let me say
winter,
this.
whenever. I'm gonna get you regardless. I don't care who you around. I'm getting you.
Twin, let me say this real fast because I don't want it to leave my screen because I'll forget it. Stephanie Covington said, yes, 13, which is the top number you can get when they bring you in the pretrial. 13 years. She says everybody is scored according to their education, background, stability, drug history, mental health, charges, and convictions. Makes sense to me. So you trying to tell me that it makes sense to you to allow certain people to get out when they don't score well? Because if you look at the things that they score you on, it's relevant to how you're going to act when you get out with a pending case. And Steph and I spent years together down there. Now I didn't work where she worked. I did my thing. She did her thing. But that's education. That's telling you what they look for.
And that's
what you doing, bro? You still here?
You going to Naptown? Yeah.
Go ahead, twin.
My fault.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna keep listening. My bad.
Okay, bro. Talk to you soon. Thanks for engaging. We had other people calling anyway. Feel free to give us a call. All I'm saying to you is you better pay attention to who's teaching you, who's telling you the real shit. I mean, what I mean by that is this. It's okay to get politicians in front of the microphone. It's okay to get lawyers and doctors and judges and shit in front of the microphone. But you better make sure they're okay telling you the truth. If all they doing is massaging and massaging your ears and telling you things and giving you this perception of what it is, how it could be, and blah blah blah, if they not really willing to give you that raw, real truth, then they're not sincere. They're not telling. Because, like for instance, I heard that there was hardly nobody that showed up at that judges conference. I don't know, what was it? In Cincinnati, this is what I'm listening to. The judges are doing this tour of the city so they can go to the communities and ask questions, answer questions. You can ask the judges questions. Every time shit like that come to the black community, you have a few stragglers and a few city leaders, not leaders, but the leaders are going to be there, but a few of the neighborhood leaders that want to come in and participate and be able to come back and sound off to the radio or podcast, wherever they sounding off at. But the community never really is they never come in numbers. When you talking about, now if you bearing gifts and shit, put up some Chick-fil-A food cards or some shit if you want people to come. White Castle food cards, or give away, bear some gifts if you want people to show up. The information is not enough. Because they don't care about firsthand information. They only care in the recreational conversation of it. But when you bring judges in to ask questions, you better be ready for the real truth. You better be able to stomach the truth. When you hear that black folks don't get on the juries, you better hear why. You better be ready to hear why. Black people don't want to be on juries. So what you bitch about? Ain't nothing but a bunch of crackers up on the damn jury. Ain't nothing but they always got them white folks up on the jury. That ain't my community. That ain't my peers. Because your peers don't want to be on no jury. Oh, it's only $6 a day. It's only $10 a day. Plus I got to pay parking. Okay. Oh, I got to work. Only black people got to be to work. White people don't have to be to work. White people don't have to be at work. They don't. This ain't no sacrifice for them. As if the prosecutor has the right to eliminate every jury member that comes forth who's a potential jury member of a case that they're working on. That's not how it works. The defense has options too. There's a medium. They have to meet in a medium. Why don't we have those real conversations? Because that might lead to some accountability. We're not in a certain era anymore where people are telling you, no, you ain't about to be on the jury because you black. How many jelly beans is in the jar, and then I'll let you be on the jury? I do a poll right now. If there was if you were called to jury duty tomorrow, or called to come down for jury duty the beginning of July the 1st, half of these mugs will be like, man, shit, I could get messed up. I fuck around and be in there for a whole week. And that could be the 4th of July weekend. Y'all know we about to cook. I don't see to my family that all. It's always something more important than what you need to do to clean up or make things right for yourself and your own community. But then when shit go bad and it's an all-white jury and TT get motherfucking 32 years, the first thing y'all do is wait for the first politician / preacher ass leader to say wasn't nothing but white people on that jury. Let me go to the phone line. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, praise God. This is Cincinnati.
Praise God.
Cincinnati King. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's going? What's good? CK,
hey, man,
CK,
I
what's
want to
good?
tell you, man, glad I heard Twin on there. And we have, oh, man, it's so deep. The level of treachery, larceny.
I hear you.
This is, yeah, the level of treachery. Yeah, we have a level of treachery and larceny in the black community where I don't even think they can reach our heights of disloyalty. And what I'm referring to is Lord Jamar returning back to the DJ Blast.
CK, slow down. You say you don't think that they can reach our level of what?
Disloyalty. I don't think you could find another group, or as racial group, that could reach our level of betrayal and disloyalty and switching to the other side.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Nah, you can't.
I don't
You
know
can't
about
get
that.
no white
Man,
person
I
that
tell you what,
traded
some
off
of
all
y'all
crackers.
so hard on black folks. I know I say what I say, but I say it in a way where I know we better than what people say.
Hold on, I'm about to get you.
Go ahead.
Lord Jamar, right? 5%. Remember, he returned to the Breakfast Club. I mean, not the Breakfast Club, DJ Vlad.
Okay.
He returned to DJ Vlad after he apologized to Louis Farrakhan, the minister, about his lying remarks. Now, what I want you to understand is the way he talked about another brother, Godfrey. He said, yeah, he's going to go back. He's going to be a little good boy and return. He did the exact same thing that he accused Jamar of.
Okay, I don't know anything about this story, so I'm sorry, CK. I'm gonna let you finish it. I'm gonna let you make your point about it, but I'm just letting you know. I'm giving you a heads up. I don't know anything about this story yet. Okay, so I'll have to look it up, and I'll remember everything that you're telling me now. I just won't be able to give you a rebuttal because I don't know anything about this particular story.
No, I'm saying the level of treachery. This is what I was trying to get at.
Okay.
That's why. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
That's why I'm saying you cannot. You got to go for the long ball. When I was telling you yesterday, I was saying You married a black woman, so even if all goes bad with your wife, it's still going back to the black community. Your kids is black. So I'm saying if you do a Michael Jackson, Wyatt, and your wife hits you for all your money, then it's going right back to them. And we talking about billions of dollars. That's the long game I'm telling you about. That's why you got to stick with your own people, because of stuff like that. You want, like you said, when you said the black women be doing it too, yes, but you want a black woman to hit Shannon Sharp for 50 million, not no cracker woman. That's what I'm trying to get through to you. Because now that's a big money. She's gonna throw the whole thing.
I think I understand where you're coming from, bro, without trying to laugh, but I'm just being honest with you. You gotta understand that for me, I think we see things a little bit different when it comes down to getting some money. I think when are getting money and supporting your community, I think we see it different. You're looking at it like if Shannon, okay, let's take your example of Shannon Sharp. I don't all the way disagree with you, okay, but I gotta understand something. We gotta be on the same track of this. Okay, Shannon Sharp gets sued for 50 million. He settles for 25 million, or the person settles for 25 million, but it's a white girl. So she gets $25 million. And you say a sister missed out, and that was, if the sister would have got the 25 million, it would have stayed in the community, the 25 million. That's your point, right?
And I'm thinking that, yeah, and I'm
that's an
thinking the
easy
sister
one.
would
Yes
have
or
just
no?
stayed along for the rest. She wouldn't even have loved him, but
okay, but yes or no? That would have been the sister. Okay, so now using your logic, I understand your point. My logic looks at it like this. I believe in building and keeping a community together is when you spend your money and empower the entire community, not just one individual.
Right.
So if I'm giving my money to one sister and she's spending her money in all the white stores and white areas and all that, I'm not really bettering my community. I enrich one individual who's still doing the same thing that if she was white or black was doing with the money. So for me, that's not empowering your people, because it's about how you spend the money, not who has the money.
Listen, sir.
I'm sorry.
You created a scholarship doctor, right? That empowers the community. Now, so if you empower one woman, black woman from the T with 25 million, now you can change a whole generation of people.
So now let me ask you this. So let me ask you this, CK. If using your example of me having a daughter who's going off to medical school, her being black, if when she gets out of medical school, she moves, I'm just making this up, this is hypothetical. Say she moves to North Carolina in a white suburban area and works as a physician at an all-white hospital in a suburban area with all white people, and she's only helping predominantly 98% white people in that community, and she lives in that community. How did that better black people in their community because my daughter went and became a doctor? How does that?
Because her legacy, her DNA, her family, her household, her kids.
That's not
her kids become doctors like her. Black kids turn doctors like her.
But
they turn into her.
That's not the same as helping a community.
That's empowering that community. If her kids.
No. What's bettering a community in my eyes? What's bettering a community in my eyes is this. My daughter becomes a doctor and she works in the University of Cincinnati as a physician, and she opens up the doors for other people to come in and do what she does, and she reaches out into the community and get girls or boys that look like her and work with them, like help them physically, with their body, whatever, medically, and run programs. If she go off with the money and the education into another area, it's still isolated success. I don't believe in isolated success. I believe
you're talking about cherries and whipped cream on top. That's all you're talking about. She has already completed greatness legacy. That stuff you're talking about is adding on to her legacy. Now that's taking her to another level of greatness.
No,
but I'm saying greatness is already achieved.
The only reason why we as a community are not where we supposed to be right now is because motherfuckers like you and get money. Y'all move to other communities and you try to keep up with the people in those communities. You don't understand how empowering a community means opening doors for other people to have opportunities, businesses, because what you have to learn how to do is spend money amongst each other, not use each other to become successful and move off and spend the money somewhere else. That's not successful. Well, it's success to some people, but that's not community success. You know, I don't understand. See, I'm not going to be that guy that's going to be like, I don't understand why people don't understand that. But that's kind of where it is. You have to, I mean, Jewish people have done it. Asians have done it. Mexicans have done it. When we going to do it? And I don't mean,
I know your heart, Wyatt. I know your heart because you have the heart of a champion because champions they don't boast about it. Other people congratulate. See what I'm saying? So when I give you congratulations, you like, man, he be putting too much. But the only reason I do that and I say I be congratulating you so much is because we got so much negativity. We have so much other opposite. Like, oh, you bitch ass nigga, you old ass nigga, I'm gonna kill you. So I'm giving these people another example, sir, of praising a black man. They're not used to seeing that, sir, coming out of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Now,
so I'm gonna praise a scholar who made his kids better than himself.
Right, but let me ask you this, my brother. You know, I ain't got none but love, and I love the praises, but to be honest with you, I believe what I tell you.
Okay.
Look, and what I mean by that is this, brother. I don't want you praising me for doing what I'm supposed to do in the first place. I'm nothing special because I've done what I'm supposed to do. You can say it, you can acknowledge it, man.
You're supposed to go to prison, sir.
No, I'm not.
1 out of 3 black men go to prison. That was your destiny. That was their legacy. You found a way not to go. You found a way not to go to the cemetery. As a black man in America, Randall, you was born to go to jail, and you avoided it. So you need congratulations. I didn't. This is real internet, sir.
No.
This is real internet.
Bro, I don't know who convinced you that I was born and you were born or anybody
1 out of 3 black men in America convinced me, sir.
No, because look, reality don't always mean, okay, so we were supposed to be slaves too, right? We were.
This is what they
were we born
to
be slaves? Yes or no?
They was born, yes. They wanted to. That's
no.
Answer
the question,
because we
brother.
Are the have-nots, sir.
Answer the question. Were black people born to be slaves? Yes or no?
Indeed, yes.
We were? Nigga, where are you from? What
America,
are you talking about?
We bought this country was built on the back of slaves.
I gotta go, CK. I'm up against a commercial break, bro.
But you see, we was born. This country was built on slaves.
Because things
on the backs of slaves.
No, because things happen to you don't mean it was meant to be. Because things happen that are evil and things that happen to you in war, because certain things happen to you in triumph, it don't mean that it was supposed to be that way. That's not always the truth.
Remember, you went to that place, OKC, and it changed your life forever. You was taken out of the prison system. You was a Matrix baby too, but by somehow God affected your life and took you away from the incarceration. And gave you scholarships, gave you education and knowledge. Me, on the other hand, I wasn't so lucky. I was born dumb, retarded. I had an accident at Kroger and hit my head.
You trolling.
This happens to people.
You trolling, bro. You trolling.
Ain't nobody trolling. That's why y'all can't handle the truth. This is what I'm saying. Stop being disloyal to your people. I'm the realest nigga. All the other people can't admit to you how effed up they is. I do. I tell you I'm on dog food. I tell you I sniff coke. I tell you what's wrong with me. They won't never admit it.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate you being honest.
You look down on me for my truth.
But wait a minute, hold
on. You want me to be ashamed of who I am?
Well, no. What I'm telling you is this. Whatever your reality, keep in mind, CK, always remember your realities is not everybody else's realities. Because the choices that you made in life don't mean the people that might even do the same thing you do in some of them bad choices, it might not be for the same reason. So don't get your realities confused with everybody else's realities. I don't understand why you wake up every day believing that black people supposed to be in jail. And that's because
it's a program. No, I'm on the other side. That's what I'm saying. You have to understand. I understand you, but you don't understand me. That's why I am superior to most people, because I can feel what people saying, but they don't understand me. No, I'm on the side against that. But I'm saying America is programmed for that, sir. I'm not saying I'm for that shit.
I hear you.
I'm saying, yes, this is what we're about in America.
I appreciate you cleaning that up a little bit. I may have posed that question.
You thought that was my belief. You thought that was my belief.
Well, no, because numbers can have people believe in certain things. I don't think that you wake up every day saying, go lock them ends up, them Y ends up. I don't think you wake up every day saying that. I didn't get that vibe.
Crackers locked up. I'm not a black person. No, I want revenge. I want slavery of white people like they did us. So I'm different than other people. Okay. I'm not like other people, and I can admit it. I'm not ashamed of how I freaking feel. They tell you when they hate black people and they want to knock a nigga off. So why can't I say I wish white folks were slaves? It's a free country. You can say stop hating me for my beliefs.
I hear you. I just wanted to make sure that you understood that I don't believe that because statistics show that what is it? One
out of three will go. So that means you will be on probation or incarcerated. A black male, one out of three men. I
think if your numbers, if your numbers are reality, then like I said before, realities don't always have to be the truth, or realities can be changed to what really needs to be. Like if we change these certain conditions, then those numbers will change. So at a certain, that 1 in 3 will change. So we got to start changing those conditions instead of looking for somebody else to change them for us.
Oh, and that's what we're doing right now on the internet. I'm just telling you, we changing it by acknowledging what it is. I'm happy. I'm happy because I'm not in that hole no more. And because Courteous or Wyatt, if you giving out game, I'm gonna tell people the game because then they know. No, because you know what they say, black man ain't shit. Nah, I know one that's cool. He cool. He all the way around. He check all the boards. So they ain't got nothing on your character, so they can disagree all they want, but check all the boards. You ain't Clarence Thomas. You ain't Charles Barkley. You ran the Wyatt Live. And I'll listen to you, brother. Thank you, man.
I appreciate you engaging with us.
All right. Yes, sir.
All right. It take a minute for me to understand, but I get it. I get what he's saying. I think he was probably doing that by using that 1 in 3. I believe that he's going by. I believe he's using the. I'm gonna try to make it make sense, CK. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try. Are you using the? I don't know. Fuck it. I'm gonna let it go. I gotta let that one sink in for a little while. I think he's basically saying that stats show that majority of men, black men, should be in jail. He don't mean should be. He's meaning based on the stats that we're destined for jail, because I'm puzzled because I don't know. I don't know where people get this stuff from. I know people that went to jail, but I know more people that haven't been to jail that look like me, that look like y'all, that look like us. Not all my friends went to jail, and we all from downtown. Not all of us experienced jail. Why do people think that? Look, what I know is this. When you know people who have experienced certain things, then that looked plentiful. Like if you knew a bunch of people that worked at the Ford motor plant, it's easy for that individual to be able to say, everybody I know work at Ford. Well, we know that's not true. Well, not necessarily everywhere. Maybe everybody that you know. Well, majority of the people that I know work at Ford motor plant. Ford motor plant is the best job in the world to have. Why do you say that? Because that's where everybody go. But that don't make it the best. It don't mean that everybody got to go there. And it don't mean everybody do work there. It just means from your experiences and the majority of the people that you know, working for it. But to sit back and believe that black people are supposed to be in jail, not supposed to be in jail, but the majority of black people go to jail or go, what do you say, probation. It's just not true. I don't even see how numbers can influence me to believe that. Now, that's coming from somebody who had buddies. I can name my 5 best friends from downtown. I'm talking about from the sandbox, who I knew make choices that street shit. Been doing it since we was 8, 7, 6 years old. I kind of had a feeling. Yeah, he started going to 2020 at 11. Yeah, he gonna be in the streets. But if I have 5 of them to say, hey, here go my 5. I ain't gonna say no names because some familiar people are here. Out of them 5, let me do the breakdown. 2 of them went to jail as an adult. So do I look at that situation? Now I'm number 6. So do I look at a situation where I say, well, I got 5 friends, 2 of them went to the penitentiary, fed joint, did a couple numbers, I don't look at us and say, shit, all my friends go to jail. Everybody where I'm from go to jail, because it's simply not true. Now I can expand that number to 20 people that I know. And the numbers will go up a little higher, maybe to 5 of them went to jail. I think there's other shit we need to be looking at. There's other mistakes that get made out of those 20 friends that I could look at and be like, hey, man, there's other system shit that we need to be looking out for. It ain't jail. There's other things that create us to have to think and do things a certain way that create that jail shit. If we focus on other stuff, if we open up more Vince Martins and L&R fish bars, if we go back to those ways of hustling, then we would have less penitentiary numbers. That's how I look at it. I could be wrong, but I ain't never in my life said we supposed to be in jail based on the numbers. I just don't know how you come to that conclusion. Even 1 of 3, I don't even know if that's accurate. But just using those numbers, I'd be like, well, wait a minute. That's the same accuracy. That's 33 1/3%. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That's still not half. And anything less than half is not most. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me go to the phone lines. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking to?
It's Edsel. How you doing?
Hey, Edsel, how you doing?
No, Edsel. Say my
Edsel.
goddamn name right.
Oh, bro, you can't come on here like that, now, bro.
I'm sorry, but
Edsel,
you can't just be. I don't call you Ranford.
You do call me some other shit sometime. No, that's
I've
not
called
my name.
you Ran.
And you don't know me like that to be calling
They was calling you at LeBlanc.
But you don't know me to be calling me Ran. You ain't you ain't my aunts and all that. Come on.
But see, that's why I said.
So how you gonna get mad because I can't?
What was it? Because you're the king of the malapropes.
Is it?
You're doing that on purpose. Edsel. You know, good and goddamn well name. My name is Edsel.
Okay, spell it. Spell it for me. Help me out.
Edsel.
Eddo.
See, that's what I'm saying. Malapropes. You're doing that on purpose.
I'm not.
You're trying to play dumb to play to play to the audience.
No, I'm not, bro. I did not hear it properly. I thought you said Edsel, and I'm like, okay, but it's Eddo.
Goddamn. Edsel. Say it with me. Come on, use your words.
Edsel.
Pronunciate.
Edsel. You know I got a retainer in too, bro. So that shit is hard for me.
Edsel.
I do. You want to? I ain't gonna
do you
show it.
No, I don't want to see it.
I got braces in the bottom. I got braces in the bottom of my teeth.
Okay.
Yeah. Edsel, what's good?
Fair enough. Nothing. Just a couple things that I heard on the Rover that just kind of sparked my interest. I'm gonna try to be brief. No, ain't no try. I will be brief.
Okay.
First off, you had said, first of all, you chapped my ass talking about some, yeah, Twin, Twin was making good money in the dope game.
I said Twin was making good money in the dope game?
Yeah, I don't know if you were doing a supposition or what, but I was like, huh?
Okay, no, I think what I was doing is exactly what you said. I think I was setting an example of the difference between a full-time drug dealer and a part-time drug dealer, and I just made a number up.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah,
yes.
and Twin brought up a number of, I'm making bands, and I'm like, okay, let's say you're making $3,000 a day. There's a huge difference between a part-time drug dealer and a full-time drug dealer, and I was basically trying to say, you know how it is in the hood, bro. You got some little girls or some little dudes that smoke weed, and they selling weed on the side just to keep up their little habits. That's a part-time drug dealer.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But it was full-time drug dealers who ain't make no money.
Some of them do.
So it's like, I don't know nobody that went to jail that was making good money that came out and got a union job. The niggas got trucks.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Well, I mean, I do. I can honestly.
Niggas got trucks. They all got 18-wheelers.
Okay. Well, I do know one guy. I do know one guy that used to, he wasn't really the king and all that old shit of the drug trade in the city of Cincinnati. But when he did come home, he did go down and work at the bakery, and that was a union job. And
I know a guy that's got 6 fingers.
Okay.
There's an exception to every rule.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
There's an exception to every rule.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that that's a regular thing. I'm saying, okay, I hear you, but I do know one guy particularly that did get out of the game, and he ended up, getting a union job. But to be honest with you, he still hustled from the union job. But that's beside the point. But go ahead.
I thought what you said about Glorilla was spot on.
Glorilla.
Yeah, Glorilla.
Okay.
Don't get it twisted. I know she's a plastic Barbie doll, fake booty, fake breasts, and whatnot, but she's beautiful for one. To me, she looks like a young Tasha Mack.
Tasha Mack.
The lady, the mom on the game.
Okay, yeah. The name sound familiar. I couldn't put a face to it, but now I know who you're talking about. Yeah. No, I think
looks like
the Gorilla Girl, she is a very attractive
that type
young
of music,
lady.
like they shouldn't even think just because you say Jesus on it or however the song go. I never heard the song.
Neither have I.
But just because you fake, glorifying Jesus, you can't glorify Jesus 1 minute and then be talking that ratchet shit you be talking in the other 14 songs.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And get it's kind of like with the weed selling preacher here, Lynch the Third. I was like, I thought why wouldn't you want God's healing, for the medicine? Why would you be telling people to get high? Should they be high of Christ's healing? You know what I'm saying? And I was called every asshole in the book for that.
Maybe it was the way you said it.
Because that's how I get it. Again, I'm talking to adults. I'm talking to a preacher. He's got to accept me as I am.
Maybe we had that in common. Fame. Maybe it's the messenger.
I just, I don't like that guy. It's kind of, my mom goes to his church. So there's been times when I dropped her off where she was like, you keep your ass in the car, don't get out. You know what I'm saying? Because she knows I might run up on
because
you.
you might say something. I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of like Martin, the Martin episode where he whooped his mama's preacher. Like, that's a dude. There's 3 dudes I don't like. Lynch, a caller who I'm not going to say his name, but his last name sounds weird. And I ain't going to mention the other person because it's not a dude, but she looks like one. But yeah, those are 3 people I just really don't like. Everybody else I can deal with. These 3 people, they're so indignant, like I can't stand them. You're like, seriously, if you hear Damon Lynch got snuffed, chances are it was me.
I wouldn't say that if I were you, bro.
I didn't say I was going to do it. I just said chances are it was me.
But you don't understand how this thing works out here, bro. If anybody,
I how to go over work, but he's a bad guy.
Okay,
I don't.
Okay, can I give a PSA real fast? For the record, I don't know him. I know his name. I've seen him. I've even said hello a few times in passing. So just for the record, this is how Exo feels about this individual. I don't know him. See, the reason why.
Exo.
Okay, bro.
Quit saying Exo.
Whatever, bro. Exxon, WYZD. I'm sorry.
Okay, Rob Wyatt.
Okay, there you go. That don't hurt me at all. I'm cool with it. Call me anything but
all right, little light skin.
Okay, that don't hurt me. I've been hearing that shit since the first grade. All I'm
saying,
Red, I'm trying to save you from yourself. Okay, all I'm saying to you is this: if that man walk out his house tonight and slip on an orange peel or something, or somebody go by his house tonight because somebody made some noise out here in broad daylight about how somebody don't like him, and if it's something happened to him, it was me. That ain't gonna help you saying whatever you say about somebody.
I'm not going out there.
I don't care. I'm just saying, bro, it don't matter. If something happened to that man in a week or two, which God forbid, you don't want to be.
Me. I ain't do it.
You don't want to be, you say I didn't do it. But listen to what you said. If anything happened to that motherfucker, it's me. Mama told me to get his ass.
I clearly said snuff, meaning I'm ready to give you just a regular misdemeanor.
What do snuff mean, bro?
It mean giving somebody going to the body and bringing it to the head.
That's your interpretation of snuff. My interpretation of snuff may be different. My interpretation might be if I knock him the fuck out.
The legal definition of snuff is smokeless tobacco.
Okay. My point is this. If I hear that and something happens to somebody, then everybody gonna be, that's gonna bring heat your way. Why would you want unnecessary heat?
All right. I've been to jail. It don't bother me.
Okay, well,
I do jail well.
I'm sorry about that, bro.
Don't enjoy it, but while I'm there,
okay, that explains
well.
It. You can't talk to these jail motherfuckers, boy. These jail motherfuckers know it all, and they can deal with anything that's thrown at them. So I can't have a conversation with the jail people. Because y'all always got the answers. I'll see you on the next time we got to talk about some shit because you'll be saying the same shit again like the jail people always do. They got friends that know more than them. And they sitting right next to them in the jail cell. They always know more than everybody, but find themselves in the penitentiary.
You ain't never been more right. But when you a thieving ass preacher, you asking for smoke.
Well, I don't know it to be
that. When you're stealing from an 80-year-old woman on fixed income, you know how I am about my mama. Ask Big Bird.
I don't know who Big Bird is, bro. What's up with the
burly light-skinned girl who was crying that she got fired from the radio station?
Oh, come on, man. There you go, bro. All right, fam. Anything else, bro, man?
Why you rushing me off the phone? Why didn't you rush them goofy niggas off the phone?
Because they ain't doing quite what you doing right now.
They were talking goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the second time you've done me like that.
No, because look at what
the first time, I remember when the first time was. It was during that time when that teacher, that big burly ass teacher, beat up that girl over a phone.
She didn't beat the girl up over a phone. She beat the girl up.
Bro, picked her up and shit.
She beat the girl up.
Big ass.
No.
That woman big as hell.
No.
5'10", 5'11", every bit of 210 pounds.
She beat the little girl up in self-defense. The little girl put hands on that woman.
It ain't self-defense for you taking my stuff.
No. There's rules. See, that's what I'm talking about. These jail mentalities, you can't do nothing for them, bro. Some of them are so institutional. Like, for instance, there's rules.
Hold on. Stop. Hold on.
You bring a jail mentality in that argument.
Let me stop you right now. Fame Rothstein does not have a jail mentality. Remember. Hold on. Remember, Fame Rothstein was the first person to come on these records telling people like y'all falling for Democratic tricks. I was doing that years ago.
Listen to what I'm saying to you, brother.
Was I not doing that years ago?
You were doing that years ago. But what I'm telling you is when you make certain arguments, whether it's you believe it or not, when you sit back and make an argument that somebody was taking somebody's stuff.
So protecting children is a jail mentality?
That's not what you were doing.
Personal liberty?
Bro, you can't, you ain't got the one that you can spend like that. That's not what you were doing. You was defending this little girl because somebody took her property.
Yes, a teacher has no business taking something directly from you like that.
No. Yes, they do have the right to do that.
Yes. What's the kid gonna do? What's the kid gonna do if you take something from them? They're gonna react in a very irrational way.
So in your logic, because a parent bought a kid a phone, the parent don't have a right to take the phone away from the child if the child is not doing something right in life.
The
parent,
not the school
okay,
teacher,
but there's
not the
but the school has
school.
but the school has rules about phones, and if you disobey the rules, then you lose your phone. It's all discipline.
Snatch it off of their person. You don't snatch it off their person. She didn't
snatch it, and you didn't see a
snatch,
bro.
How you know she ain't grab a handful of breasts while she was taking the phone?
You making up shit now. You making up stuff now. The lady clearly said, give me your phone.
I'm making up stuff. I just asked the question.
No, because you're saying, how do I know certain things didn't happen that we didn't see in the video? The little girl didn't say, you put your hands on me, so now are we going to fight? The little girl didn't give any kind of reaction that the lady did her wrong other than confiscating her phone because she had no business using the phone in the classroom. That was it.
She probably thought she grew.
No, I ain't no probably thought.
A broadside or something because
that's what I mean.
Hand was on top of her.
That's what I mean. You got to make up shit to make your.
Hold on.
You better run, Fame. You better run.
What?
You better run.
That's the fire department.
I don't care. You better run.
Listen. Hold on though. Dude who got jammed up with the explosives.
Where
news the other day. Yeah, he lives in my complex.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was sitting there watching that, like, oh shit.
So you got lucky.
No, I mean, I was just watching it, like,
no. Where was he trying to blow the stuff up at?
Huh?
Where was he trying to blow the stuff up at? Up there, complex or somewhere else?
I don't know. I guess he blew some up in Hamilton County and Butler County, from what I remember the story.
I'm glad they caught him because he could have just been blowing up the complex and just doing some just doing some terrorist stuff. They don't always hit certain, they don't have to hit a federal building or something. They can hit anywhere. Maybe you got lucky, bro.
Okay, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm off here since you want to get off the phone so goddamn bad.
Well, I can't have you coming on here disrespecting people that don't.
No. You was gone for 2 weeks.
I was gone for 3.
You gonna rush off a reasonable caller.
No, bro.
Maybe I'll come in. I'll come in. But maybe tomorrow when I call in, I'll call in with broken English, talking street vibes to 50-year-olds, and maybe you'll like the call.
It's not that.
But when somebody comes in with some sense, you want to rush them off the phone.
That's not necessarily true. I love your phone calls, but they sometimes
maybe I'm here to talk to the teenagers.
No, I just said
it. Edna House still got a show. What's that team song? Oh, shout out to her. Shout out to Ananda Lewis. I forgot she went to MTV.
Yeah.
I just remember from BET. I forgot she did go to MTV for a while.
Shout out to her, bro.
She was on 106. Shout out to her. RIP to her. That was I remember her very well. I mean, not only was she beautiful, but she was actually a good host, a good moderator of that program.
I give you that. And I will also say that that's when BET was really putting in that work of being something special to the community.
Yeah, you're 100% right. She was like the last one that was a serious black journalist for black causes.
Yeah, and she also set an example for the women. She always came on clean, sharp. She was always about her business, and she carried herself very well. Very well.
Not trying to shake ass and date the artists. Trying to show up for them. You're right. She was there as a professional.
Yeah. And she was very.
Let me hop off here though.
All right, brother. Thanks for engaging.
Somebody else want to call before you go, and I want to let you finish up with the Bulls. I'll let you tomorrow, Wyatt.
All right, bro. Talk to you. Came in on one. Y'all got to know I had to y'all know why I was cutting him, because I don't know them people. I don't know who he was. I don't know them people. And the last thing I want, I've worked very hard to be over here and stay in my lane. I don't want people thinking, oh, they over at Wyatt Live dissing people, because that's a circle. Those are people. That's they side. That's them. You feel me? I love everybody here because you could be other places. You know what I'm saying? You could be other places watching other stuff. I just don't want that reputation of needing to diss people because they don't agree or I don't agree with them. I don't need that. All we need to do over here is focus on what we do and do our thing. And once we do our thing, then hey, it's all gravy. Now I'm really over time. I got for this next phone call. And I want to try to get it in because I'm overscared. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
This is Marquetta.
Marquetta, what's good, sis?
I wanted to talk to you about Clarissa Shields, but you don't have much time.
Can you get it?
I
I would love that conversation. Can you give it to us real fast?
I love Clarissa Shields, undefeated MMA champion in every weight competition, consistently meets her weight. She just knocked out, it looked like she was fighting a 6'6" man in her last bout, and she knocked him out. She knocked that girl out, put her on her butt. And I wanted to talk about the fact that.
So wait a minute. Is it fair to say that she should have won woman of the year, woman athlete of the year? Is it fair to say?
Athlete of the year. Okay. Angela Reese has won it in the last 3 years. It's obviously some nepotism involved there.
Wait a minute. She won it 3 straight times.
In the last 3 years.
From BET?
BET is owned by Viacom.
Though. Wait a minute. Sis, I don't mean to cut you off. I want to understand what you're saying. Angel Reese has won this award through BET for 3 straight years.
Yep.
That don't mean I didn't know that.
That means she beat in Sha'Carri Richardson. She beat in Simone Biles.
I can't take that serious.
I
can't take that award serious. I can't take that
and
serious.
You should, and that's what I called him for. And you shouldn't. BET is owned by Viacom. It's not owned by Bob Johnson anymore. He's been sold that media group off to Viacom, and Viacom does not have the Black community's interest in the best mind, and we're not creating entertainment. If you notice this last show, they had to pull people out from the 2000s to even get people to watch. You don't have any relevant artists today besides maybe Glorilla that's making a big impact on the culture. And Southern Soul is rising. I'm so excited about that because Southern Soul is largely independent artists who don't have a 360 deal, who are independent, and they're making a genre of music that's happy, that you can dance to, that your mama, your grandma,
positive
kids can listen to.
Positive music.
Boots on the ground.
Okay.
That song. And bringing back the culture of us dancing and being in accord with one another and loving one another. And this is my last comment, I promise. Mm-hmm. I was watching the internet. Nene Leakes interviewed a trans woman named T.S. Madison. T.S. Madison is a big 300-pound man, linebacker, $2,500 expensive wig, really tight dresses, shows a lot of cleavage. Nene Leakes said, I don't want a man that would date you. And she's being dragged for being transphobic because T.S. Madison considers himself to be a woman. And this is what I keep trying to tell y'all about the hatred of Black women. Black women, you could never, like they do it to Michelle Obama. They say she a trans. She a trans that ain't even no woman. Black women's femininity has always been a racist quip to dehumanize us so that we aren't seen as soft and feminine or something worthy of protection. And so when you have men in the community who are sleeping with men in the community who like to dress as women, who are you protecting? And if you don't value the femininity of Black women, you won't protect it. And that's why our communities are in the chaos that they are in, because you have these hateful, resentful men who hate Black women's femininity and how they decide to carry themselves. Glorilla is under 25 years old. She is no different than Cher. She is no different from Tina Turner. She might be a little more vulgar, but entertainment-wise, Tina Turner had her butt out. You can go back and find Shake a Tail Feather. And you can go back and find lots of artists.
But sis, let me ask you. Okay, maybe the look is one thing, but the lyrics also have to match some things to make it make sense. When you talking that street shit in your music, that's what you pretty much promote, and that's what the young ladies and the young people, that's what they follow. So it's not just what she wears for me. I was talking about the church people being on stage.
Church people, Leandra Johnson is a drunk. Leandra Johnson be drunk in church singing. And I'm just get to this church thing because the self-righteousness of Christians is ridiculous. James Cleveland was an out homosexual who molested a man and gave him HIV. James Cleveland is one of the most known gospel artists of our time. That repentance in her song, that she got with Kurt Franklin, is basically her saying, thank you, God, for blessing me and giving me all of this. I'm not deserving of it. But with her talent, with her being Black in America, having opportunity, having access. She was able to become wealthy, even though she came out of Memphis, where there is a high crime rate. You can die in Memphis just walking outside.
Sis, I
So her
gotta say
song is
something to
not
you about that.
necessarily
I
good,
gotta say
but
something to
it's
you.
just paying homage to her, in my opinion, her gratitude to God. But I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but there's certain things that we have to understand about the music industry. Just because you're a successful music artist does not mean, number one, wealth is just generally not a question in that field. But because you're a successful recording artist don't mean that you're rich. I see rappers, for one, rappers and pop artists. Now, okay, if we're gonna make it white and black, I see rappers and a lot of pop artists as being vessels for someone other's agenda. I think they use young ladies like Gorilla, Sexy Red. You can always reward a few to damage a lot more things. And I think
same
wait.
way
The only way that she's hold on.
And Ice Cube and that
Exactly.
whole genre incarcerated a whole generation of black men into private prisons.
I agree.
Into drug
But it
dealing. I
hasn't
agree with
changed.
you.
It hasn't changed. It's just been to the point where now rap music has incorporated a lot more female artists to do the same thing. Now they've learned how not just to make it about what guys are talking about. Now the girls are now, knocking down doors and sending in another agenda and making it about some other things and giving the whole rap game a different perspective of seeing what we've always been seeing. I just don't agree with saying that because one person, like for instance, Glorilla would not have this success if she wasn't who she was before she was doing that not country, but that gospel album. If she came out with a rap gospel album before she had success doing what she's doing now, what's made her successful, that gospel album wouldn't stand a chance of being on the stage at BET. It's her success from being Glorilla, the rapper over there, just like it's Angel Reese's success that's made her in social media, not on the basketball court, but socially gave her that privilege of winning that award 3 times in a row. She hasn't done the work in the WNBA nor in college, have those numbers to win that award 3 times over other people's accolades who actually done something to be the greatest.
And she said that.
But
she
so
said,
then why
I've been
does it
putting in
happen?
work for 3 years. I've been rapping and I've been nominated in every category. And y'all decide to give me the award for a gospel album?
Right. So what does that tell? I mean, she might not have any. Look, a lot of them are naive to how they're being used. I only think that politicians and preachers know the game of manipulation. I think rappers go in there with all intentions of being the greatest rapper and the greatest what they can be. I don't think they go in with the intent of fucking up the neighborhood or doing. I don't think they have that intent. It's like, you really think NWA and all them guys, like, you think Ice Cube wrote all that shit and Too Short wrote all that shit thinking I'm gonna fuck the neighborhood up? No, they didn't do that. No, I don't think. I don't. No.
Brother, let's back up.
Let's back up. We can go to Cube
before we get to Too Short and Eazy-E. You got to go back to the Mac. You got to go back to Superfly. You got to go back to men where rap come from. It comes from pimps. Pimps were men who said, I'm not going to go to work. I would rather sell a woman's vagina.
Right.
I would rather dehumanize and sell the little girls in my community for a Cadillac with a drop top, and so I can have some nice shoes.
Okay.
Men who, and that whole generation of men at that point abandoned children. They began to run drugs to our community. That's what Superfly was about, the heroin game. So Too Short is a child of the Mac, of Iceberg Slim.
I understand all of that, sis.
He is a child
of
them people.
And what happened?
And
what happened? They used another vessel to get that same message out. They went from movie to music. That's all. Right. That's all it is. It's a lateral movement for the same cause. All I'm saying to you is these guys and girls are being used for an agenda. I don't like, for instance, Ice Cube did what he did. Even if you watch the movie and you look at it, Cube got to a point where he even was like, wait a minute, hold on. I ain't made no money. This ain't really working for me, but I'm a celebrity and people want to hear what I'm saying. When he left LA and caught on to the Jerry Heller's of the world taking the money and saying, hey, push out as much music as you possibly can. We're going to sell this. We're going to sell that. And he's seen what he was doing. Did you notice how Ice Cube's whole trajectory changed? Because he's seen that he was being used.
Dinner with the president.
Right. He's seen that he was being used not just for his body of work, but he was being used. His lyrics was being used and they weren't helpful. He changed his whole rap game from being about the streets to how he went political. He went more conscious rap when he moved to New York. Remember that? He moved. Death Certificate. That whole album was about the government and what's going on in the cities of the cops and the judges and all that. It changed. The Rodney King move. All that shit changed. So Cube changed, but he had already set the bed. He made the bed for and opened the door for so many other people. He can't change the whole game. Once he got it, here come all the other rap artists following that. I guess who was that? Ruthless Records wanted to put out. All the other little guys that couldn't write as good as Cube or, all that old shit. And there's been the snowball. That's the snowball effect of what we have today. You look at the female artists today, show me a rapper like MC Lyte or show me a rapper, we talk female, show me an MC Lyte, show me a Queen Latifah that's gripping the microphone right now. You can't.
I agree. Can't disagree with you there, but they are out there. They just don't get the clout.
But that's industry driven. That's industry driven. The industry controls who get the clout and who get the microphone and who get the radio time. The industry control that.
Well, I ain't gonna keep you much longer. We can go on and on.
All right,
and sis. I know your callers. This your platform. They ain't listening to me.
They love listening to you. They love listening to the dialogue of people that bring something powerful. I ain't got no problem with it. I love you and I love what you bring. We don't always agree, and then I think we agree more than we disagree. But I think that what happens,
we brothers and sisters,
absolutely.
We know that the bigger picture is the community love.
So let me ask you,
as a father, as a man, how would you not correct your community?
Right.
As a man, how could you not say something?
So let me ask you this question. I don't know how long you've been listening, but let me ask you if you heard this part. I was talking to CK on the line today, and let me ask you, coming from a female's point of view. I said that a person that helps the community, he used my situation with my daughter. He used a couple different examples. He's saying that a person that's left a lot of money, say for instance, and I know I kind of have an idea how you feel about interracial dating and things of that nature, whether it's good or bad or whatever. If I leave a white wife, me being a black man, if I leave a white woman the money out of a divorce or something, is that just as bad as a black woman getting the money? And if she's spending the money with all white businesses and just in a white world over there, what's the difference?
That part.
What's the difference? I mean, they're both neglecting the community.
That part.
Do you understand what I'm saying? If my daughter goes off to become a doctor and she works in North Carolina in an all white area and providing services for all white people, and she's not doing anything for the community, how did I better my community by producing someone that totally ignores my community? That's not me producing somebody that's helping the community because she's an isolated success. Being there for you
eventually abandons the community with the wealth that you got.
That's what happens.
Quincy Jones, all of his kids are mixed. Each of them got $70 million when he died. You look at Diana Ross, she worth $250 million. She got one black grandbaby. When we talk about generational wealth or we talk about ethnic group wealth, as Black Americans, we give our money because and people, she already taking it down men. Listen, as men, you're not supposed to be shooting each other. You're supposed to be protecting each other. You're supposed to be working together, collaborating to build group businesses,
there you go.
To build an economy.
There you
but
go.
as long as you're not, you leave your women and children to be consumers.
That's right.
And so your wealth that dollar does not rotate
nothing.
in your community. Not one time, not two times. It goes straight out.
There you go.
It goes straight out.
And you can blame.
So it doesn't matter.
We can blame anybody we want to blame. But as soon as we get a little level of success, we don't try to empower where we're from and we don't build where we're from. We go off where the people that match our checks go. And if that
And
means,
you better not say nothing.
that's what
If
I'm
you
saying.
say something about it, you have people. I don't know what's up. I mean, you have people in our community who think that we're going to be like I'm supposed to be a hero. You supposed to be a hero because we got the nerve to speak up and say something.
Right.
There are no heroes. It is a collective group effort. And until we get that through our head, people are going to continue to keep us divided on the smallest of things. But the biggest thing is commerce. This whole country right now, it's
I
a
hear you.
lot to
It's
talk
frustrating.
about.
I feel you. I already know because a lot of us are fighting for. We fighting. Okay, I can't be mad at somebody that's in the ring with somebody that's just overpowering. You know, that's kind of how I feel sometimes. We're in the ring against something that's way bigger than us, but we swinging and we fighting. And sometimes it be our own people that we have to fight the hardest against to get people to understand where we really need to be and what we really need to be doing, because they so stuck on pro-black, but they not really seeing what we do, what we really need to be doing as black. They stuck on.
And then how they use us.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm
hate
talking about.
how they use us, because it's not that I'm mad about immigration. I'm mad that I've been telling you for 30 years. I'm, at my age, since I was 17, I've been talking about reparations and the need for it. I've been reading studies. I've been quoting studies. Oh, shut up, you stupid. That's a conspiracy theory. But as soon as a Venezuelan comes to the country, they get $5,000 a month, food stamps, and a place to live for all of their people.
And for the
record, I'm not supposed to say nothing?
For the record, since I got you on here, I'm going to say this. I meant to say this earlier, and of course, you remind me of a whole lot of stuff, so I'm going to bring it to the table. I have been hearing people. It's funny how you see all this stuff that's going on out in California. Now, you may not agree with me on this, but this is on something what you just said. And I'm hearing people say things like, ain't no black people out there helping these Mexicans, or you don't see us out there protesting. It says a lot to me when I don't see my people out there on them front lines protesting.
You better not take your black ass.
You see what I'm saying, sis? But listen, hold on, sis. Hold on. Before you get in there with it. Here's what's tripping me out. The only black people I see out there fighting for them are your politicians. Them the only ones I see. You got to ask yourself, we ain't out there fighting. We ain't out there we ain't doing that shit for them. Why is my representation out there? Why are the people that we voted for? Somebody make that. Where are all my people that can make this make sense? Because we ain't got no business out there. But why is our politicians that look like us, why they out there fighting and making up excuses and faking like them people ain't out there tearing some shit up? Why are they vouching and going hard for them people? I don't get that. Help me out, sis. Why they doing that? Because it ain't us. I don't see no little brothers out there. Now, a few ran in the Nike store, but that's different. That's a come up. I'm talking about out there vouching for these folks.
It's the vote. It's the representation of vote.
So they don't care what's really right for the overall, for us. They only care if they can get in a position where they can win on votes and things of that nature. They don't really care about us.
I mean, we've been thrown to the wolves, to the dogs.
Do they understand that we're 17%?
It up, but I was listening to CK. I heard what he said about incarceration, and it was true. It was a time when 1 out of 3 black men would spend 30% of their lives in prison, and that goes back to Joe Biden. That goes back to Joe Biden and his 1 to 100. If you got crack versus cocaine, you had mandatory minimum sentencing. Today you have so many black men in prison that prison is a normalized institution. People, instead of college, instead of high school, people really think a rite of passage is you got to go through the prison.
You know what? Here's what I think. Here's what I think about that.
A lot of us don't vote. And so they brought in a whole new voter base. You don't just bring in 20 million people and not have a plan.
Right.
And then on top of that, let me say this, because Bukele down in El Salvador, you can't tell. I don't care what nobody say. Trump worked with Biden. Biden worked with the Hillary Clintons and whatnot. Because politics is a spectator sport. It's all about who got the money, lobbyists, who controls these politicians. Bukele had no one else to arrest in El Salvador. El Salvador is one of the safest places in the world but he still had room in his prison. So they convinced the people of South America, we're going to give you free this, we're going to give you free housing. All you got to do is push a button, you'll become American. We said it. Them people going to get sent back home. And sure enough, they did.
But
and now they're not going home. They're going to a penal colony.
But
that was all planned because the private prison institution, the GEO group and all that, it's too many eyes on that, especially after Black Lives Matter and stuff. People were looking at the private prison institution and seeing the stock market and seeing how it correlated with rap music and all that.
There you go.
And they was like, well, wait a minute. They need a new stock of prisoners. You have a strong voice. Whether you want to hear from them brothers who call you or not, men are getting strength because steel sharpens steel. Men get strength when they can talk to men. It feels good for a man to be able to release his thoughts to another man and that man say, I hear you, brother, even if you don't agree. Because who is the Black man gonna talk to?
Right.
And I keep telling y'all, this homosexual war is real. When you hear men demonizing women and telling other men how women ain't this and women ain't that, that's because they don't want you to have sex with women. We're not even producing people. They say,
well, we can help with that though. We got a lot of help in that area. There's a lot of people that are so much against us that there's help. They want abortion clinics. They want to make. They
want abortion
clinics.
Want that
they
shit
want
for IVF.
Us. They want
foster care. They want to eunuch your kids, but they don't want you to have a healthy, thriving, loving family. Even if you're not with the person you made the child with, they don't want you to have a functional co-parenting relationship because Black men lose due process when they owe child support. You don't even get no rights. Your due process is out the window because you owe child support. It's a whole big conspiracy and war to ethnically cleanse Black Americans out of this country. But like I always say, we're not going nowhere. We're here to stay.
Well, let me say this to you, sis. Let me just ask you this because I gotta go, but I want to hear you. Give me 30 seconds on this answer here. Shouldn't people be worried? I mean, or is it just me? Shouldn't people be worried that if you're going to let all these other people of different nationalities come into this country, because it's not just Mexicans, there's a whole lot of other different nationalities. We're already only 17%. The Latino community has doubled us in over the years.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking at your politicians sit up here and make excuses and make this about something other than what it really is, because it ain't Black people out here fighting for that movement out there in Mexico. We're about to do all these little protests across the country for this Mexican and this immigration thing. I think we as Black folks are missing what's really going on because we sitting here, they want us in that fight so bad that we're really deluding ourselves. If we get into that and allow them in, they're getting more privileges than us at this point. They didn't got better things. You've seen it in New York. You've seen it in LA. You even mentioned it in this call. You now reduce our square footage of this country. You reduce us. Now, how does that work? Why won't we look at our leaders who are politicians that look like us, that we voted in? Why don't you look at them and say, wait a minute, how are you representing us when we actually fallen? You know what I'm saying? We've fallen off the map in this whole argument. This doesn't better us. This is not good for us. That's my opinion. I don't think it's good for us. What's your take on that?
It's the same thing. They use us because of our civil rights struggle. Black people achieved civil rights in a country where they were enslaved. We were never immigrants. We did not choose to come into America and choose to become American. We were forced labor and we were never compensated for it. But we fought long and hard for the civil rights, for the 13th, the 14th, the 15th Amendment to get recognized as American citizens. In order for any other group to come into America, they need that. They need us. The thing about the Hispanic population is they're racist. They were racist against their own people. The people that you're talking about, that's our people that was advocating for them for that mess, They advocated for the people who voted against their own people to be deported because they're racist. A Cuban think they better than a Mexican think they better than an El Salvadorian, and they all think they better than niggas. And the problem with black people is black people, we don't use our power centers. The church, we can talk all that gospel music. We get a church so much money. What jobs do the church produce? You want to say what individuals are we doing to the community? What church can you go to and get a job? A 6-figure job? What church can you go to and get a skill? What church is teaching you that, we're going to invest in this real estate development and we're going to make sure that all of our elderly members have somewhere to live where they're not living in poverty? But our pastors is sitting up telling us to boycott Target. Al Sharpton, I ain't never been to his church, but he a pastor. And that is your political action committee.
Well,
I think that's where your money is. That's where your unity is.
But
and it's just very frustrating, bro. You can go and complain about that all day long. Black people, stay out of that. Get on your own politics. And our own politics is not, I don't like Trump. I'm anti-Trump. Trump had bad policy and he had good policy. A good policy was send them motherfuckers back home. All of them. Right. Because it's what you say. It diminishes it reduces our workforce. You can't find black men in construction and labor anymore. You got them just completely out of the workforce, a lot of them. Then you're talking about housing. Black women now, you can't get Section 8 frozen. You can't access the funds because they've already exhausted all the money for immigrants. Until we get on our own side, we're always going to be complaining. But you go ahead, brother. We can go on and on. Tomorrow, Friday the 13th, I'll try you tomorrow.
All right, sis. I appreciate you. Love you. That's my girl, Marquetta. Thanks for engaging with us. We had conversations. Y'all just don't know. Her and I can kind of talk all day. It's just we on the air and I really got to go. But I just don't understand what's going on. I get it. I do understand. I don't understand why there's not more blowback towards the reality of what we're seeing here. Let's be honest. I don't see black folks out there in California, and I don't think there's going to be many black folks in New York and all these other places that's going to be protests fighting for this. But who I do see on the camera are a bunch of us, and I don't think what they're doing is benefiting us. I would have to challenge any politician who wants to put it on the surface as being constitutional rights, who want to put it on the you talking about, I didn't get into it. I want to make this last point. I didn't get into it with a dude on my post today, but I made this little post with some goofy shit on my post on my Wyatt Live page today. And it said, I'm on my way to Cancun, Mexico. And I meant it like I'm going on vacation. And I'm like, I'm going to Cancun, Mexico to have fun, vacation. I'm going to wear my USA t-shirt. And then when I get there, I'm going to burn my Mexican flag. Tell my kids I love them. See what I'm saying? All I'm saying to you is the shit that you're seeing right now, they can't go to Mexico and do that. They can't go anywhere other than America and be that free and do what they doing. And if you representing if you representing Mexico with them flags, if Mexico is such a good place and you representing Mexico, then go there. Stay there. Why don't you do this? Go to Mexico, put the American flag up in the sky, fight for democracy and freedom over in Mexico, and be like what you want to be like over in America. Take that same attitude and energy to Mexico, to that government, and see what happens to you. Tear their streets up and throw rocks at their police cars. Let's see how many government officials will stand up for that behavior and those people. They'll get shot in the street. I just find it to be disrespectful that these same people are now looking for black people to come to their aid and use the black people's fights, the fight that black folks fought for all these decades, and you want to jump on the coattail of that. This is not the same argument. It's not the same thing. And that's what I was trying to tell a Mexican dude that jumped into the conversation. He had to use this old crazy thing about, well, I seen a lot of black people burning flags during the BLM riots. I'm like, what flag were they tearing down? What flag are you referring to they were burning? The American flag. That's a different argument. Okay, you are an American feeling like the America has disrespected us as a people. So there's no justification. Like there's no unity. We are Americans, so we can burn that flag. I don't condone burning the flag, but I'm saying we're burning it on our backs. The flag is a representation of what work our ancestors put in and the fight they put in. You don't have the right to burn an American flag when you're from Mexico and you're not even a legal migrant. You're illegal. You don't even have a right to do that. You are fighting for a right that's not even yours yet. That's my opinion. It's not your right to be mad at America. You could be mad, but it's totally disrespectful to bring a flag into the argument that don't even give you the rights that you fighting for in America. If you want those rights, then go that hard in the paint in Mexico and fight for those rights like black people did. My total disrespect and disappointment is towards those politicians that's out there fighting that look like you and I, that look like me, that look like us, and you want they out there. That just shows you they'll fight for anything. Some people will make a deal with the devil just to be part of something. It makes absolutely no sense to me. I would question anybody. I don't care if you're a Republican, you're a Democrat. I don't care what you are politically. I don't care if you're a reverend. I don't care what you are that's so dressing and makes you look great in the community. I question anybody when I don't see goodwill in what you're trying to do. When I see a play go down, I see a play go down. When I see that you're doing something because there must be something in it for you versus the overall people, just like Marquetta said, Glorilla then won that award over Clarissa Shields. And she won it because of the ownership of BET. So what's the motivation? What's the goal? Why would you want to make someone like Glorilla shine in the area of gospel music? Unless you want to try to convert, this is just me thinking frames ahead. If you want to convert gospel music to accept Glorilla type of behavior, you'll make her acceptable in that field of music. And the only people that can do stuff like that are leaders. So if black leaders in politics are accepting the behavior of Mexicans that are illegal and the illegal behavior that they forming out in Mexico, you're basically trying to okay that and then bring the rest of us in. If I'm a foundational black person like we are, that's a no-go. If my granny had to work all those hours for 40 years at McAlbin's, it's a total disrespect to all the older people that look like us, who put the work in, got spat on, couldn't drink out of water fountains. And now you want them to be able to just come in and do it their way? That makes absolutely no sense to me. My time is up. I got to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody coming in today, man. Peace and love to you all. See you tomorrow at 1 o'clock, same place, same time. Makes no sense to me.
I just wanna fly. I'ma show you tonight that I'ma put it on you, baby. Take you past the sky. I just wanna be. I just